What's up? What's up? What's up, party people? What's going on? What's today? Monday. I hope everybody had a great start to their week. If you are catching this on the replay on the tube at The Love Jones Show, make sure that you are liking, commenting, and subscribing to my channel. Okay. Make sure that you are liking, commenting, and subscribing. All right. Now, everybody that's coming up in here tonight, make sure that you are double tapping the screen. Y'all already know how it goes. We need to get to 5K before we can allow people to start coming up on the panel. Hello, Blue. Hello. We have a gift goal at the top. So on the 9th, what the hell am I saying? On the prompt, the prompt says why, I was supposed to say do, but I didn't put the do in there, but it's all right. Don't judge me. But why so many people pretend to be ethnic Black Americans? There's a lot of cosplaying out here going on. And then the second half is still a play on, thank you, T, thank you, Sean, is a play on the last time we were live with each other. For Black Americans / FBA. Okay? But some people came up in here last night and was saying that they were ethnic Black American when they really were not. And you could tell based on when they would say you Black Americans and y'all, you know, they wouldn't speak in like first person, or they wouldn't speak as if they were speaking about themselves. They separated themselves from it. That's one of the ways that you could tell, because a lot of people are clearly running around pretending to be monoracial Black. They're pretending to be ethnic Black Americans, and they have immigrant backgrounds. And they use the, oh, well, Black is my race, and I am an American citizen now, or I am an American green card holder, or I got an American visa. I live here. I'm a resident of America. So therefore, I'm Black Americans. And then, like, the Caribbeans would be like, well, the Caribbean is in the Americas. So technically, I'm Black because of my race. And then I'm American because I'm on the continent of America. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? So they always trying to cut corners when it comes to our lineage and our ethnic background so that they could make the shoe fit them as well. I'm giving Cinderella ugly stepsisters. I'm not calling anybody ugly. I'm just comparing it to how they were trying to squeeze their foot into Cinderella's shoe. And that's why you like the term foundational Black American. Okay. Because people can't say that with a straight face knowing they ain't going well. And that's why everybody crash out over it. Because they can't call themselves foundational. But we did have somebody up in here who called themselves a foundational African. A foundational Black Akata. So these people don't give a damn. They are going to find a way to include themselves, and yet they'll get up here and say, oh, y'all just talk about us and talk about people all day and all night. And it's like, we finally entered the conversation. Y'all been talking about us and having us on y'all mind for a long time, before we even knew y'all existed. Like, come on. But hello, Johnny. Hello, Uncle Paul. It's a good delineating term. Okay. Hello, Eve. How are you guys tonight? How are you guys? Can you see the prompt? Put a 1 in the chat if you can see the prompt. I should have been asked y'all, because right now I don't think I'm going to start over if you can't. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys can see the prompt. You can see it? Okay. Okay, y'all can see. Okay, good. So once again, y'all know, well, y'all already know we have the rules are over here. It says 3 minutes to speak, no cussing, no over talking, and state your ethnicity. Just say it. Of course, out of habit, I'm going to say like, oh, what's your ethnicity? Because it's out of habit at this point. But do not be like, oh, you know me. I came up here 5 years ago. We slept together last night. How could you not know? Like, I don't want to hear it. Y'all be getting offended. I do not intentionally be trying to offend y'all. I speak to hundreds of people weekly. I don't always remember. I'm constantly reading comments, emails, Zoom calls, talking to people on different platforms, DMs, a Discord. Like, it's a lot of ways that I communicate with different people. Sometimes I will remember your face, and you know, if you've been up here consistently back to back and you didn't change your profile, then I will remember. But don't get offended. Okay? It's not to offend you. So if everybody would just read the rules and say it, then it won't be awkward. Think charm. Why? Tell him that it's human nature. Why? That song has been stuck in my head for a couple weeks now. It was just to me that way. Thank you, Rayat. Also, it's been very messy in these TikTok streets. But I stay out of that. I can't be a part of that. Because, child, the things I experienced on YouTube, I do not want to repeat of that. I do not want to repeat. I'm not a part of none of that. I'll be minding my business for the most part. I'm nosy, so I will look and see what the hell is going on. But other than that, I'm not in a space to be going back and forth with people. I'm so just not a part of that. But it's very messy. I wish that it wasn't so much Discord. But I understand that not everybody's going to always get along. It's just, it's a lot going on. I just scrolling my FYP, seeing people, like talking. I'm like, dang, everybody got it going on. FBAs are easy to divide them. What you mean by that? I think you were trying to come up here. Oh, you could come. I'm gonna open the panel once we get to 5K likes. What do you mean FBAs are easy to divide them? What does that mean? Hey, Gigi. Sometimes people just be saying stuff. I don't know what the hell they be talking about. Oh my God. No. Oh boy. You're just another one of our panels talking nonsense. Oh Lord, what he was saying. It's easy to divide you guys than it is to unite you guys. Who are you? Who are you? Stranger danger? Hey. What do you mean? It's easier to divide than to unite. That's a lie. We're united right now, and this is why y'all all crashing out. We're very united. I don't know who you are or where you come from, so I can't really. I don't know who you are. I absolutely don't know you, so I can't really. We are very much so united. That part. I know a lot of lies of care about new members. New members? What? I don't understand what y'all talking about. I don't, what? What? Hey, Chicago John. Did you do me that way? Okay, I'm about to start letting people up. 3 minutes to speak, no cussing, no over talking, and state your ethnicity. That's the rules. If you talk to me crazy, I might talk crazy back. I'm trying to police myself, but I'm me. Hello, Dr. Love.
Hello, how are you?
Hello, can I have your ethnicity?
From Uganda, I'm African.
Are you in America?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Why do many people pretend to be ethnic Black Americans? Like I said, it's very easy to divide you guys than the way it is to unite you guys, and it's very easy to pretend to be Black Americans, and you guys won't even know it. I've seen a lot of Africans, in the FBA cycle, and you guys don't even know it. That's the messed up part. That you can't really you can't have the lineage. There's a lot of Africans in that lineage. You guys talk. Sometimes you guys are on the panels with them. Sometimes we it's like we see it, but we can't tell you guys. You guys seem to be too smart and know a lot of things, so we just watch you. That's why
No,
it's
honestly,
people continue.
we can tell lots of times. If we couldn't, then I wouldn't be able to make this prompt.
Yeah, but Hamada, she was too beautiful to be FBA. Anybody knew it. Anybody just would look at it and knew, she wasn't FBA. But apparently, you guys said, and see, I told, I said, hey, this is how
She was
it's
too
open
beautiful to
sister,
be
and I know,
FBA. What the
yeah, she
hell
was
are
too
you talking
beautiful
about?
to be FBA.
You
So
sound
you
crazy.
can literally tell. So you can literally tell that
You
she's
sound
definitely not
absolutely.
FBA. But
You done flew over the
um,
precipice. I don't even know what you're
yeah.
talking
So
about or why you're coming over here mentioning people's names. I don't know what you're talking about.
yeah, because you don't want to hear it. It's the truth. You guys are pretty allergic to the truth. That's why you don't. You always
What
not.
do you
You know.
mean? So you're saying that ethnic Black Americans aren't attractive? Are you on something?
What do you mean?
Are you saying that Black American women are not attractive? Is what I said. Is what I mean.
Yeah, I said that Mara was. She's too beautiful to be FBA. That's what I said. So I don't know how you want to put it, but it's like you can literally see it. You know what I mean? It's like, but you guys were like, and I told you guys,
I'm
and
not about
there's
to
a
get
lot
up
of them.
here and compare women's looks to other
There's
women, but I don't
there's a
know
lot of them.
what
But if
what
I tell
cuckoo's
you,
nest you done flew over, and it seems like you're trying to get me to say something negative about another woman. I'm not going to do that. I'm not even.
I'm not doing
Nobody's even
that's
talking
yeah.
about that person or her background or whatever the fuck they got going on. Who even mentioned that? Why would you
Yeah,
even bring
because
that up? That's very odd.
because you
And for
say
you to say that is diabolical because you're insinuating that Black American women without immigrant background aren't attractive. And if you're saying that, you are smoking something. Like
You
you are
said so.
on something. You
I
are on
didn't say
something
that.
heavy. If you are saying that Black American women that are not continental African are not beautiful, you are on something. I don't know what it is, but you're it's psychosis and it's some type of substance abuse.
Why are you getting too emotional? We're just having a
Because why
conversation.
why are you coming up here saying that that has absolutely nothing to do with the prompts? You're getting up here saying you guys are easy to divide. What does that have to do with you people pretending to be us? That has nothing to do with you people pretending to be us.
But how can you unite with people that are not you? Like you in your circle, in
What
your
are you
group. How
talking
can you
about?
unite? How is that going to be
At the end of the
what is
day,
the
at the end of the day, it always comes out in a wash. We don't know anybody on this app. I have been on
right?
this app with people and we don't know. I show myself. People get to see who I am. Other people are not showing themselves. We don't know who is who. I don't know who you are. You could be a little fucking 4 foot
I can
11
be
man.
FBA.
You could be a 4 foot 11 man in a cave somewhere. I would have absolutely no idea. At the end of
I
the
can be
day,
FBA. You wouldn't know it.
who at the end not with that accent. At the end of the day,
Oh,
it
see,
always comes at the end of the day, it always
you want
comes
me to
out in
switch?
the wash. At the
You
end
want
of the
me to
day, it
change
always
my
comes
accent?
at the end of the day, it always comes out in the wash. People cannot pump fake or lie about who they are for too long. It is going to come out. That's just point blank period. So I don't know.
People like me, when I come out and speak the truth, and you start looking down on me because
I'm
just
not
because I'm
looking
saying the
down.
truth.
How did I look down on you? What did I say that was looking down on you? Tell me right now. Go.
Because you said that I'm using something heavy, so I'm like, what did
What?
I do?
I said you're using something heavy. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you say I'm probably like on some like D-rag or like is that what you were
What?
saying earlier? Because simply because I
What
told
are
you
you
the
talking
truth,
about?
and
You didn't tell
and
me. You literally got up here and you tried you think that you are slick, you are being condescending, and you are trying to manipulate the conversation in a way
I,
to make it seem like Black American women are not attractive. And that is why I am 2 steps away from cussing you out because you're trying to be funny. I think that there's
I'm not
attractive
being
women.
funny.
You are. At the end of the day,
I'm
you are. Black
I'm
American
not being
women without
funny.
an
This is
immigrant
how I
background
talk.
are some of the most beautiful women to walk the planet Earth. Every ethnic culture, every race has very attractive women, and every race and every ethnic culture also has women that are not so attractive. But to make that comparison and say, "Oh, you could tell that they're not this because they're too beautiful," you are trying to
To
say
be FBA.
exactly, and you are literally smoking something. If you think that
See,
Black
again, you're
American
looking
women,
down on me.
I don't care. Oh well, I'm gonna look down on you if that's what you call looking
See,
down
there
on
you
me.
go.
If you
Now,
are
now you
going
don't
to
care.
sit up here
So
and say
if I
that
told you the same thing that she was too beautiful to be FBA, then you get mad.
he got me fucked up, he got me fucked up. He's trying to make me cuss him out. He's trying to make me cuss him out. I'm really trying. I don't want to look. At the end of the day, who brought that person up? Y'all, I told y'all, everybody keep trying to drag me into beef. Did I not say that before I even started talking? Did I not say that they keep trying to drag Love Jones to beef with people, and I'm not going. I don't have time for that. I have a bigger platform than a lot of people. I have more to lose. I'm on multiple platforms. I'm building things behind the scenes. I'm working on a lot of different things. I do not have time for people to be coming up here name dropping people and saying certain shit to try to get me to respond in a certain type of way. I don't even like the name dropping. I don't like it because now if I respond, it's gonna be not savory. Now this is not to say that whoever he was talking about is not an attractive person, because they are. However, you're trying to make a comparison to make it seem like Black American women that are not immigrants are unattractive. And that is diabolical. That is absolutely diabolical. The women in my family are fucking beautiful, flawless. My friends, flawless. My cousins, flawless. I am absolutely fucking gorgeous. Like, what are we talking about? And I'm not an immigrant. So to get up here and make it seem like Black American women are not attractive is very disrespectful. And then you're name dropping somebody, trying to throw them in there so I could be like, oh, you get what I'm saying? Like, to make it seem like I'm going against this person. I don't give a fuck about what these people got going on. I keep telling everybody I am not a part of that shit. I don't have nothing to do with that. I can't. I'm not here for none of it. You're beautiful, stunning. Thank you, guys. But that's like what? You might be FBA. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You might not be FBA. You see how this go? I don't have an immigrant background. Period. I don't know why. What? Hello, Caleb Thorne. Can I have your ethnicity? And I'm gonna go ahead and give you 3 minutes. Hello,
How you doing?
Caleb. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yes. Sorry. I accidentally requested, but I'll still participate.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry about that. So I'm foundational Black American.
Okay, let me search it. All right, go for it.
I probably won't need all three. Let's see. I think that the delineation movement has sort of created how should I say, like it's created a dividing line socially between people of our lineage and people in the diaspora that's not of our lineage. Whereas before we were very we pushed Pan-Africanism quite a bit, and we were trying to sort of galvanize the entire diaspora onto ourselves so that we could create like this sort of monolithic group of Black people to fight the dominant society, for equal rights and for us to be able to equally participate in the economy and be able to have the same equitable outcomes that other groups of people are able to get. But I think what we've seen over the past, I don't know, let's say 15. Well, we've seen it way more than that, but I think lately what we've been noticing is that when you look at this from a historical lens, right, and contemporary lens, there's not much to gain from these like allegiances or these alliances with other groups in the diaspora, unfortunately. And so we're just saying there's a dividing line that we have to draw in the sand. We have to make sure that we're taking care of our people and seeing to our needs. So I think that that's what got a lot of people sort of offended and shook, is because this is not the status quo, right? And we do have a sort of cultural and moral capital that we can draw upon to get a lot of things done that other groups don't have. And I think that that's something that a lot of other groups are not wanting to try to sort of like build for themselves, because they're not able to galvanize that same moral and social capital to get things done. That's why it's always been beneficial for them to sort of like link up with us to get things done, either politically or socially or even economically.
Okay. Did you have anything else to add?
Nope, that's what I would say. But wait, why so much? I think I answered the why so much smoke and pretend. So I think I answered both of your prompts.
Okay, cool. And guess what? You used all 3 minutes. Okay, Lisa
Yeah, I did.
Jackson. Lisa.
Okay, good evening. How are you?
Hi, good evening. Can I have
It's
your
Solis,
ethnicity? Hello?
foundational Black American.
Okay, let me start your countdown. All right, go ahead.
why so many people pretend to be ethnic black Americans? Oh, okay. Well, we are the culture. I mean, we did something spectacular, during, what I'm saying, slavery, Reconstruction. We were the dancers, we were the gyrators, we the disc jockeys, we was all that before, all this stuff came into play, like what you would call like standardized. No, no, we did everything. So for me, like, okay, so what's the other one? Why so much smoke for Black American FBA? Well, we are the trendsetters. Hmm? I mean, that's just what it is. We didn't ask to be. That's just who we are, the trendsetters. That's why they don't like us, and that's fine. I don't care who don't like me. I really don't. I'm still striving to do what the hell I gotta do. But my fashion, when I turn the corner, how I look at a Federo, you know what I'm saying? I just look great, great. Because see, we created that. We did. Fashion. Louis Vuitton never had nothing on us. Balenciaga, you need us. So we're the, we're the everything. So I'm not mad at, who's mad at us. We just got to keep going. Because I don't care who's mad at us. You see? And once black people understand you don't have to care who's mad at you, we still the trendsetters. See, those places used to be zoos. I don't know if you know, or Louis Vuitton, Gucci. Those used to be black zoos. Guess what? We came out there. Steven Timberland didn't even like us, right? We put them on the map. So at the end of the day, why should we care? I don't care. Why should we care if Shiesty Man is doing what he do? I don't care. Is Iran winning? They was winning since it started. So what we care for? That's my thing. At the end of the day, we got to get our sons and daughters out of the military. You know what I'm saying? We not fighting. No, sir. I fight days numbered. So, so what do we care for? I don't care what they think about me or my fashion or my thoughts. I don't care. I mean, how does that sound? I don't care. I'm not trying to change my skin color to white. They did a hell of a job on that for me. So, what? Do you think I care?
Okay.
It's not real. Is not real. What I mean, what part are we supposed to care about? I just need to know.
Okay. Thank you for your input.
You're welcome.
American wool headed. Can I have your ethnicity? Then I'm gonna give you 3 minutes to answer the prompt.
Yeah, I'm a foundational black American, proud, born and raised, true and authentic. I'm not one of the inauthentic, whatever that word is. But yeah, why so many people pretend to be ethnic black American? Because black Americans are diamonds in a box full of rocks. There's nobody else quite like us. When we walk into a room, we summon attention without even trying to get it. Right? Whenever we walk into a room, people be like, oh, shiznit, that's a black American right there. Let's stop what we doing to pay attention to them. Right? And I think that that's what's important. We have an obligation to fulfill. We don't owe nobody anything. We don't owe nobody nothing. So you see, a lot of us believe that when Dr. King and Sojourner Truth and Medgar Evers and Harriet Tubman, when all of these people unalived, they unalived with finished business. No, they unalived with unfinished business that they left for us to continue on and complete. It's like the late, great Dr. John Henry Clark said, what has God preserved in Black Americans that made us survive the most inhumane atrocities this world has ever seen? And he said that God has preserved us to give this world its last humanity. And inasmuch as we are the only group on planet Earth that put all of our ketchup, sweat, and tears into fighting white supremacy when other groups of people have turned their backs on us, we still get up and we fight. We still get up and we continue to prosper. We still get up and continue to walk to the sycamore tree at the North Star like Harriet Tubman once did. Because you know why? That Fort Sill have been broken. And Black Americans are questioning, who is this dark-skinned person right here from foreign lands coming over here thinking that they can claim who we are? We got to shut that down.
Yep.
And that answers the second question. Why do so many people have smoke for FBA? Because how dare you Black Americans decide to break away from us? We Africans own you. We sold you. You see, if you want to use the movie from Losing Isaiah analysis, we're the newborn baby that Africa had left by the dumpster and wrote us off like a bad check and never looked back. And now that we got that basketball scholarship, you got the president of Ghana coming by and saying, and going to our ancestral burial grounds, trying to claim our check. That's a problem.
Tell the truth.
And we
Tell the
have to
truth.
shut that down.
We don't have
Because-
to be concerned
Oh, hold
with
on, babe.
everything
Hold on,
in the
boo.
world.
He on a timer. You gotta let him land.
Yeah. But I'll land right there.
Okay. YTO, can I have your ethnicity? And I'm gonna go ahead and give you 3 minutes to speak on the prompt.
My ethnicity, I'm a Black American.
Okay. Do you have an immigrant background?
Nah, not at all.
All right. Go ahead.
Why so many people pretend to be ethnic Black Americans? I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know too much about that. I didn't know they pretend to be us. Maybe because I don't talk to a lot of people in the Caribbean and Africa, so I don't know too much about that. So I can't really speak on it. Why so much smoke for FBA? So I have heard different people say that they know a lot of they have come to find out that there are a lot of FBAs that are conventional and they don't like it.
What do
I
you
don't know.
mean conventional? What do you mean by that?
Like they have conventional beliefs, like Republican beliefs, conventional
Conventional?
beliefs.
You mean
Yeah.
conservative?
I mean, yeah, that's what I mean. Conservative beliefs. So, I don't know. I guess that's what they don't like. That's what they told me they don't like. So,
So they don't like some people that are conservative, basically. They don't like Black conservatives.
from what I've heard, they said that. Well, from what I understand, they feel like a lot of conservative views don't benefit Black people. So when they see like what they say is blagger, Black people that believe in MAGA or like MAGA, they don't like it. They feel like it's like, I don't know. They feel like they're going against the code.
So you think staying on the blue plantation is better than being on the red plantation? You think that the blue side is for Black people, Black Americans?
One thing I'm not gonna say the blue side is for Black Americans, but I will say that some of the views that I see a lot of Black people have, I feel like they're kind of destructive towards us. Like they don't like to speak on the ways that we've been oppressed and how it's still affecting us today. Some of the conservatives, I don't feel like they speak on the real problems that is really, a detriment to us on an economic level today. And I feel like that's a big problem.
Wait, so
Especially
you think Black Americans don't speak on the plight of Black people?
not all Black Americans. So
I
when
mean, there's over 50 million of us. You expect us all to be the same and doing the same thing?
not necessarily that, but from what I'm understanding, I'm speaking as somebody else's perspective, by the way. But
What's
what
your
they were,
perspective?
I don't feel like, I definitely don't feel like some of the conservative topics that they bring up, like black people are just lazy, black people we're our only own detriment. Some of the stuff that I feel like they deem conservatives, I don't feel like is beneficial to us. Those views as a whole.
Okay.
I don't. I'm trying to speak in somebody else's perspective, though. It's hard for me to do it. So that's
That's
one
why I
thing I
asked
want
you
to.
about your perspective.
So
You
my
don't have to
perspective.
speak for other people.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you about my perspective. Then my perspective, right? If you look on an economic standpoint, um, the top 10
I'm
percentile of
watching it.
people are majority white people. When it comes to wealth, the top 10 percentile are majority white people. They have a majority of the top assets, which are real estate, stock, and also big business. They've had this for generations now. They have a stronghold on a majority of these assets, and they've been able to compound wealth generation after generation after generation. And they have been prejudiced against black people for generation after generation after generation. So when conservatives believe that we can just work hard and we can fix these problems, I don't believe that's true because in a sense factually it's not true. And for anyone saying that they feel like I'm not educated, fuck you in the comments, by the way.
Okay, so I mean, this is not necessarily about politics, but if you feel like the blue, because we got to say red and blue. I don't want to get like a restriction. TikTok is very, tricky with the language. But if you feel like the blue party is more for you, I mean, initially black people were the red party and then things switched. And now the blue party is just predominantly doing things and focused on the immigrant class. It's and people that are from subcultures like the LGB and the list goes on, but I don't want to necessarily get into that. But I'm going to get to the next person. And if someone wants to ask you a question after, then if you're still up here, you could stick around for that. But Angel Fish, can I have your ethnicity? Then I'm going to give you 3 minutes to speak on the prompt.
I'm black. I'm just black. I don't know. But I just wanted to
Do you have an immigrant background?
no. I
Are
don't
you
think so,
sure?
no.
Where are
Yeah.
your parents from?
What did you say?
I said, where are your parents from?
My mom is from Texas and my dad's from Seattle.
Okay, let me start your countdown. Go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to ask, what's the difference between a foundational Black American and a Black American? Isn't that the same thing or?
So everyone doesn't consider themselves, it's just a label. Like some Black Americans don't call themselves Solon, but it literally means that you don't have an immigrant background. Just like a foundational Black American means that you don't have an immigrant background. I explained early on that a lot of people with this excess melanin that we all share, they will say that they are Black American because racially Black is Negroid features in a certain phenotype. And then because they have an American green card, they have a visa, or they are now newly American citizens after maybe a generation, they do run around saying they're Black Americans outside of recognizing them also as an ethnic group. So, but Black American and FBA is the same thing. It's just people have co-opted Black American. So,
Right. Okay. Well, that's all I wanted to ask, if I'm being honest. I wasn't sure what that was, and I keep hearing people say it.
You've never heard FBA?
No, I've heard it before, but I've never had anyone explain to me like what it was. Or not FBA. Yeah, no, I feel like FBA is more like a new term.
It is.
Right, yeah. Usually I'm just like, oh, I'm Black American. I used to call myself African American, and I got so much shade from the real Africans for that. So yeah, I'm just Black American now. But yeah, I didn't really want to say anything. I was just wondering.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Johnson and Johnson, can I have your ethnicity? And then I'm gonna go ahead and give you 3 minutes to speak on the prompt.
I'm a BOK male from the Midwest, United States, straight FBA.
Okay, go ahead.
Why so many people pretend to be ethnic Black Americans? I think some people do it for like normalization because it's no different from what you saw with the Ellis Islander people back in the, they would come here and their name would be like Serbiak, but then they changed their name to Smith, their last name to Smith. Someone would like dye their hair and stuff like that. They do it for like to kind of blend in, I guess. But the smoke for FBAs, I feel like rooted in like jealousy. They try to say that it's something that we do to them, but I don't think it's necessarily that. I think they already have this animosity anyway. Because I was in the military for a long time, and I've been all over the world through the service. And when I was in Japan, some of the Africans over there would pretend to be FBAs. They would tell people they're from Chicago, they're from LA, and stuff like that. But everybody, all the FBAs knew they were lying because you could hear their accent. But the Japanese people couldn't tell because like they couldn't tell the difference between the English dialects. All they would hear is English. They wouldn't hear like the accents and stuff like that. But then you would have other Africans who would try to basically tell everybody to they would go to like the Japanese people speaking negatively of the FBAs over there. They would try to tell the girls not to date us and stuff like that. And yeah,
So you
some of
think it's rooted in jealousy?
some of it is, a lot of it is. Some of it is them trying to basically pander to the YT Americans and like kind of the top group. And yeah, that's pretty much my answer. Because
Okay.
a lot of it really doesn't make sense the way that everybody comes at us and attacks our culture, but the cultures they come from are just as messed up, if not worse.
Mm-hmm. That part.
You really see this. You see this a lot too with people from south of the border. Like, how can you talk about somebody being a criminal when like you're the plug? You know what I mean?
Hello.
And yeah. Oh, and I even see people on this app talking about BLK Americans. They were from they were part of lineages from south of the border, and they were like laughing, saying that we're scared Trump's going to take away the 14th Amendment and ship us back to Africa. And in my mind, I'm like, there's no way that's going to happen. You're actually afraid of that. You're just saying that we are.
It's projection.
Yeah, and they're not even trying to strip away the 14th Amendment. They're trying to reinterpret it. They're trying to have it reinterpreted.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling. I didn't know that everyone thought we were immigrants until I started to hear what they were saying on this app. And I was like, y'all motherfuckers really think if we could have been deported in mass, they wouldn't have already devised the plan to do so?
A lot of them come here too. They have this mindset. They have sort of this weird sort of they follow the narrative that we just been sitting here and everything comes from the mind and hands of the YT man. And we've just been sitting here and it was built around us. And they don't acknowledge that a lot of it really comes from us being oppressed by them. A lot of things in American culture is a result of us being oppressed by them. And it turned into like culture somehow.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
And yeah, and we were like a big part of the development and the building of the nation. A lot of them, I guess, some of them generally, honestly, don't know that. And then when you say this to them and prove it to them, they still try to fight it because they don't want to believe that the BOK American is actually, very much American. We are we embody what they want to be a part of.
Oh, sorry. Yes, absolutely. It pains them to
Have to
admit the
acknowledge
truth.
that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like really radical people from south of the border, and they all see themselves as being like indigenous, so therefore they believe that they're owed access to the United States because like their heritage is from like Guatemala or something like that. But they fail to realize that what they try to sort of take claim to ultimately is just a landmass. What makes this place so where everybody wants to be, what draws people here is what was established on top of the landmass. And that ain't got nothing to do with it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, and especially, Mexican people, they say, oh, this used to be Mexican territory and that was Mexican territory. It's like, well, Mexico got paid $15 million and it was sold. Like, and at the end of the day, the United States of America was established in 1776. That has nothing to do with what the hell ever was going on before then.
Yeah, nothing at all. And then they'll actually try to talk about us, our plight, and our story, and tell us we got to get over the past and all that. But like, their whole thing is them not getting over the past.
Mm-hmm.
Their whole thing is their
Dissonance.
their whole thing is them trying to fight for access to a landmass or access to a country that they didn't even help try to establish. This is the only country on the planet where people will come from other places and look at a group of people who are foundational to its birth and try to like down, you know what I'm saying, talk down to us and downplay us and try to act like we're not like attached to this place at the hip. This is the only country where that happens.
That
That's
part.
because of the I hope I ain't cut nobody off.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, that's because a lot of immigrants that come here are institutionalized, and a lot of this stuff comes from their own areas too, but they're institutionalized when they get here to align with whiteness. And a lot of white people with their low self-esteem, they really ingrained in other cultures to see the worst of us, because believe it or not, Black Americans have always been on the right side of history, and that
Every
have
time.
always, yes, and white people have always been jealous of that, because to be a Black American inside this country is to essentially be that of perseverance. What's that R word? Forget
Resilient.
that. Yeah, resilient. Yeah, resilient. It's just a lot of things like Black Americans, we really didn't need a system of oppression in order to rise in this country. But whereas whitey people, they've never lived a day inside this country having to deal with competition. They don't know what real competition is like. So a lot of immigrants that come to this country try to mirror that. And they think that by hating, like you can't say that word, by having disdain towards us, will somehow gain favoritism to whiteness. They have this whitey savior complex. So they think that all of the inventions and the philosophies and the discoveries inside this country have came from that of whitey society, when really Black people have contributed a lot to that.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, I've seen firsthand too, like kind of how a lot of it plays out, because there was I grew up around a big Native American population. I was in a state that had a big Native American population, and out of all the atrocities committed against the Native Americans by the white people, they still sort of had this reverence and like want to be around white people and develop a disdain for BOK people, right? But the red skinned people, the native people, they didn't hear the conversations that the white people would have about them when they were not around. They would think because the white people would speak negatively about us when they're with them, that they were like in with them, but they didn't know that they would talk really bad about the native people, like really bad.
Yeah, I would say that that's one of the things that really aggravates a lot of other groups, because specifically for our lineage, we don't have a this mythic view of the dominant society, right? Like we don't have this high and lofty view of the dominant society. Like we could take it or leave it.
That's because too we don't look at America from the outside like, oh, look at all this stuff that was built here. Look at all this. Look at all the innovation. Look at the culture, this, that, and the next. And we don't look at that and be like, oh, I guess that's the white people that did that. We know that we had a hand in all that.
Well, also too, I think that and this is my opinion, I think we are the cultural, we have the most superior culture amongst most of the people groups, or if not all the people groups in the nation. I think that our ability to adapt and to innovate within the constraints of the societal system that we've been a part of, with 244 years of slavery and another 101 years of Reconstruction, Black codes, Jim Crow, all of this stuff, right? We've been able to formulate a cultural, sort of like a cultural genus that other groups can't really emulate, or they can try to emulate, but they can't do themselves. And within that structure, we don't really seek to make the dominant culture, something that we should aspire to. Whether rather than that, we look to really figure out how to elevate ourselves on our own terms. And I think that is something that the dominant society and some of these other groups, they kind of don't like. They kind of despise it.
A lot of people in white tea society dislike the fact that we don't assimilate. Like, we're the only non-white tea culture inside this country that rejects full assimilation into white tea-ness. And we are the only groups of people that tell white tea people the truth about themselves unapologetically, whereas these other groups of people inside this country who come here, most specifically the Asians, because if you ever walk past an Asian couple on the sidewalk, you see the condescending looks that they have about you in their faces and stuff like that. A lot of them conform. Like, Asian people inside this country really don't have a backbone.
Yes.
They pay attention to what white tea mommy and what white tea daddy tells them, right? If white tea daddy tells Asian people that it's the black people and their affirmative action that's stopping you from getting into these schools, Asian people are going to be like, word, let's do something about it. But as soon as the affirmative action gets lifted, the same white tea people who have convinced them that it was black people who were the problem will then let them realize and know that it was legacy admissions that was stopping you from getting into these schools. But Asian people are not going to raise any awareness to this because, again, Asian people are typically docile, much like the Hispanics, right? The Hispanics, they voted for Trump.
That's why
Right.
they chose to make them the model minority in the first place. That's why
Right.
that's exactly why they did that. It's like whenever when you see like a group of girls, right? One girl, she's pretty, she's attractive, but then there's another girl that she's kind of, she might be on par with her, if not more attractive. She's gonna distance herself and she's gonna get the chick who's not attractive at all, be like, come on, girl, and she'll be her friend.
Right. Right. They really don't have no legitimate reason for why they H us. They just H us because they see white tea people doing it. It's more like monkey see, monkey do. What white tea people we do too, And I will say this. There was this Asian woman who was on the Grapevine podcast, and these were her words. She said, everybody knows how black people are treated inside this country, and we pray to God that it don't happen to us next.
Wow.
Black people are the proverbial whipping board that white tea people use as an example to remind all of these other docile garbage can cultures of what could happen to them if they was to step out of line. And the thing
So
is, black
essentially,
people
you're
have been
saying we're
so
the canary.
used to
Oh,
it for
sorry.
my bad. And the thing is, black people have been so used to it for so long, we've become immune to it. We don't care no more. You have black people talking about today, well, maybe segregation wasn't a bad thing. That's how bad racism is today. And segregation was bad. Separate but equal wasn't.
Actually, I have
Right.
a I have a story about sort of like a situation with the ASEAN people. Like, I've always been into tuner cars, like tuning cars, fixing them up, doing like engine work, making them faster and stuff like that. And I actually had a conversation with an Asian dude who he tried to make it seem like the whole thing was like their culture, not realizing that actually tuning cars and stuff like that, that whole Fast and the Furious stuff, it's actually rooted in culture that comes from the American South. Like during Prohibition, when alcohol was illegal, bootleggers, they were they had to ship the product, the bootleg alcohol. So they found a way to make cars faster so they could outrun the police. That's where that whole thing comes from. That's where NASCAR comes from, That's where the German tuna car culture comes from. That's where the Japanese tuna car culture comes from. And black people were heavily involved in that. So when he said that, I knew the history. I side-eyed him. I'm like, this is from here. But yeah.
I need to ask you a question. Why do you think segregation wasn't wasn't bad?
You said, why do I think segregation wasn't bad?
Yeah, you said no, you said segregation was bad. My bad.
The reason why I say segregation was bad, in comparison to separate but equal, is because segregation was Jim Crow. And Jim Crow was a system of oppression that was used to make everything unequal. Whereas a white person could have access to a FHA loan, in which a black person was denied access to. It was sanctioned by the law of the land, in which black people wasn't allowed the same amenities at which white people,
But
had
you
access
don't
to.
think that when we were left to our own devices, first of all, that's when we created most of the inventions and the innovations that are still running the world today. But we also was building our own infrastructure. We were building out, we had Freedman Banks. You don't think
Yeah.
that we would have been able to get to a place again to whereas we were able to sustain our own communities if we were still segregated versus now we don't really own any infrastructure like that. Yes, we have businesses. Yes, we have farmland. Absolutely, we're doing the damn thing, but not the way that we could as far as full autonomy and ownership the way that it was when we were segregated, because when we had our own schools, we were smarter. We were, like I said, more inventive. We had our own hospital, movie theaters, goddamn airplanes, hotels, bed and breakfast, B&Bs, restaurants, everything. And then, but I do understand another reason for integration was because they would not leave us alone. They kept like
Well,
bombing and destroying everything. But I just think that if we were separate, the way we would have been thriving today and circulating the dollar within and amongst ourselves, we would be unstoppable.
meaning from
I
like
think
that
I
perspective, like
agree with I think I think you both have good points. I
I
think Love
don't.
Jones is correct, and I think you make a good point. Your point, if I can steel man your position, is that integration was good because it allowed us the pro of integration rather was that it allowed us to fully participate in the economy, in the broader economy, right? And so, from that standpoint, I agree. It was good for that reason, but it was bad with regard to our mindset and how we approached it, which is if we had approached it with the same, segregated or like segregationist mindset where, okay, we now have access into the broader economy, but we're going to take the resources from that and pull that in back into our own communities.
The way
The
immigrants do.
problem, yeah, like
Right.
immigrants. So, but we didn't keep that mindset. If we had kept that mindset, we would be, like what Love Jones was talking about. We lack a cohesive infrastructure that we can like depend and rely upon, where we can bolster each other and help each other in the same way that the dominant society can choose or not choose to. So I think that if we had kept that same mindset, then even with integration, that probably would have been the best of both worlds. But it didn't happen that way.
What the point I was trying to make was it was the negative ramifications of segregation was what allowed these people to be able to abuse us. Whereas I do agree with you, in segregation, we did have our own infrastructure. We owned 16 million acres of land and whatnot. I don't support integration at all. I believe that Black Americans should separate, right?
Oh,
I believe that we should have separate but equal. And even what Dr. Claude Anderson was talking about, we should have self-aggregated instead of integrated. because when you self aggregate, you prioritize your group, right? And you don't integrate or assimilate into an integrated society that sucks and takes away resources from you. So when I said segregation was bad, I was talking about all the bad things that came with it, right? That resulted in, the Emmett Tills, that resulted in the what's that woman's name? They used her cells,
Henrietta
her
Lacks.
Henrietta Lacks and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Because between the year 1910 and the year 1997, the United States government seized 90% of the 16 million acres of land that we owned inside this country. So there was a lot of things that happened in segregation that I didn't agree with. And I was talking about the bad aspects. But do I want to integrate with white people? No. I'm tired of them. Like, I don't want to be, I feel like, how when you claustrophobic, that's what it feels like. Like it being integrated, it feels like, you have somebody constantly staring down your neck.
Well, I think that it's possible for us to do what our predecessors did, but it's just that people are not. I mean, we have to come together and like make that happen. Like you have to see people actually coming together with purpose to build up some infrastructure. Now, I think that like what Love Jones was saying, black people, in like these like small enclaves, they're doing great stuff in this country. You know what I mean? But if we want like we have to be purposeful with like a systematized effort to do something like a Black Wall Street again, or Wilmington, or something like that. Like it have to be purposeful, very intentional.
Yeah. It's hard to believe that in 2026, we are worse off than what we were during segregation. Like during like those times, like Love Jones was saying, we had our own movie theaters. We had the Howard Theater. We had Howard University. We had our own hotel. We our own hotels. Dr. Claude Anderson, his family owned 500 buses where he used to service black people from New Orleans all the way up to Memphis. We had our own insurance companies. We had everything 60 years ago that we don't have 60 years later.
Wait, hold up. We got
Hey,
a new
Love Jones.
person. Hold on. Morpheus, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, Love
Give
Jones?
me your 3 minutes. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just came in because I talk about this segregation thing, and I see like the other guy said it earlier, it is good and bad. So yeah, we did work together more, but let's be honest, we were forced to, and the reason why that's true because as soon as integration happened, you saw that went downside. You want to, the whole concept of the white man's ice is colder. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And we didn't need to be integrated because we were paying taxes still. So we were paying taxes for their luxury. A lot of people don't know. Back in the day, they had free swimming pools, but as soon as
Yeah.
integration happened, they covered them up with cement. Our taxes paid for that. So we were paying taxes while they're living the high life. You know what I mean? We all know about the GI Bill. We were paying taxes on that too, and we were paying with our lives. You know what I'm saying? So in a spiritual way, I see that integration had to happen because now we at the point our generation is like, yeah, this is not it. We need to be together. You know what I mean? Basically, how low key how the immigrants do. But there are black businesses around. What I found as I gotten older is that a lot of black business try to hide that they're black business because what they do when they find out you're a black business, they start sending code enforcement to you. Like think about how many Indian Chinese stores that they're not that clean, but let a black barbecue,
Yes.
let a soul food shop pop up. You talk to some of your soul food restaurant and some of the black owned. Ask them how many times code enforcement harassed them. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes black people have to go undercover because we do got money, we do have our own places, but some of them it's getting so bad that sometimes they'll put a white person up front to look like the owner. You know what I'm saying? Some places, we all know about the whole thing when you try to sell your house. If you sell your house and you have your pictures of your family, the appraiser would give you less. You have to get a white friend or take your pictures off to get the correct value for your own house. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I also wanted to say, because I remember you guys were talking about the other different nationalities here, we got to remember one of the reasons why they do hate us because it's just like coons, like for our own lineage. You know what I'm saying? They understand to get, we call it biscuits, just for like selling us out. So all of them understand that too. They get the little agusi or enchiladas, like whatever you want to call it, right? But also you got to remember, why do people come to America? And I'm talking about everybody, whether they're melanated, Hispanic, or whatever. They come to America to get rid of their identity. They're fleeing from something. You understand? They they don't want to be Irish no more or Mexican no more. They try to reinvent themselves here. And when we stand on business, it destroys that illusion. That's why they like the concept. Oh, immigrants built this country because it makes them feel like, well, I'm a part of this too. They call it the American dream, and we know it as the American
Mhm.
nightmare. You know what I mean? So us being here represent that, and then of course when they come here, like, oh yeah, these black people, they're nothing, right? Everyone sees us as nothing, but at the same time, we're the greatest people here. While it comes into sports, music, or influence, people want to imitate us. They try to talk nonsense, whether they're melanated or not, but they're copying us. I've seen some white tea supremacists talk crap while they're using ebonics at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So like, how you hate us so much, but you're using ebonics to insult us. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
a
don't
weird
say
thing. It's
the
not.
HAT word anymore.
Oh, sorry, my fault. My fault. You know what I mean?
It's
But
okay.
yeah,
It's just this app is so sensitive, it's annoying.
I've been meaning to say this to creators. It's funny how we have to be so careful what we say on TikTok, but the other people can say the N word and not get
Yeah.
banned or nothing. Ain't that interesting?
I say it all the time.
And but if you say the YT the correct way, your stream get messed up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
It's
saying?
crazy.
You
I
know?
say white a lot, because I
Yeah.
just be like, what's gonna happen? But then it seems like they'll just get you for something else. You know what I mean? Like it'll be like,
Hmm.
oh, harassment and bullying. And it's like, who the hell are we harassing? Like it's just so odd the way this is framed. We also need to have our own spaces. I'm trying to not say, our own
They go
joints like
follow us there
this.
too. They go follow us there too. I remember on back in the day, I signed up for Black People Meet. That was white people on Black People Meet.
Yep. I was about to
And
say that
Black
because
Planet was owned by a white person, right? Black Planet
no, it was a partnership. It was
was
a
owned
black
by a
person
white
and a
dude.
it was a partnership. They had a white person and a black person that ran it. But there
Um,
was, I remember when black people, my mom was on that, but there was a lot of white people trying to get rid of black people back then. I remember that. They always going to follow wherever we go. But you know why they do that?
I remember Urban Chat too.
Mm. Well, the
why they
reason why
do
they,
it? What's your reasoning?
because we're the source. Like they don't have
Mm,
creativity. You know what I'm saying?
that
If
part.
you're a white tea person, I've heard a person say this to me. If you want to know what's cool, you follow the black American. You know what I'm saying? And because you don't really capitalize on our stuff or copyright our stuff, so they look at us for trends. You know that they follow Black Twitter to see what's popping before it actually pops.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Hell yeah, they study us over here too. They be right up in these lives. There's actually professions where you get hired to study Black American people.
Hmm. Yeah, because we're the wave.
Crazy.
Yeah, I think that's why I say that we're the cultural capital of like the country.
Hmm.
But you
Like
know why we're the
we
cult? Oh, I'm sorry. Go
go
ahead.
ahead. No,
No, I
you
was gonna.
good.
I was just agreeing with you, but because I've heard other people say the same thing you just said, and then I thought about it. Like, let's keep it honest. We're the oldest American ethnic group here. Like when you really think about it, even the white tea people, they're not that old. Most of them are Ellis Island. The white tea people that were
Hmm.
here when the white tea people that were here when we were here, what they call Anglos, most of them are dead. Did you know
Oh,
that?
say
Most of them.
Yeah,
unalive.
Oh, sorry, unalive. I'm
yeah, you
sorry, my
gotta say
bad.
unalived. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, most of them are gone. And that ethnic group is kind of almost extinct.
Most of
You know
them
what
are
I'm
in the
saying?
South. Like most of the old British style type of white tea people inside this country are mainly in the South now.
Well, they're in the north. They're like in places like Maine. That's where they at. Like you go to Maine, because those people were very rich. They had a lot of money, so they're up there. That's why if you ever go, that's why you ever notice like British people, they like Maine, Boston, because like they still have that British kind of culture still there. Most of the South they had a lot of Irish people. Like a lot of the white people in the South are Irish descent, especially the Appalachians.
Yeah, I know that when we were something just came to my mind when we were talking about segregation versus integration. We we integrated, but we never assimilated,
Right.
and I think that that's the issue, right? Because what that would have meant if we had assimilated, it would have essentially like erased our unique, like our forged, the identity that we forged through the history that we have with this country and everything that we did to build it. We have a very unique identity and role here on this land, and we're not willing to give that up. And because we're not willing to give up our cultural identity, it's causing a lot of friction with the dominant society, I think.
But you think it's just
And
a dominant society that is causing friction with? Because honestly, I see friction with everybody globally because we aren't
yeah, I
willingly
would agree
giving
with
up
that.
or allowing for ethnic erasure to just wipe us out. Everybody has a problem with that.
That's what Dr. Claude
Actually,
Anderson
you know
talks
what?
about.
I agree with that. I've seen this at work. So like, I work in white collar America, and I will say we are the only people, in a practical sense. I'm one guy, right? But in a practical sense, I just don't see us in those offices like kowtowing and kissing up to folks. I see that with every other people group,
You
all
know,
the other groups.
I'll have to push back just a tiny bit. I think at one point in our history, we did try to integrate. Like if you go back to the early 1900s, right? You see the black men then they had the conch hair. They were imitating how white dudes had their hair. You know what I'm saying? But we all know about how no matter what they did, they could never integrate. They were still, unaliving black men until like you get towards the 60s. That's when you have I'm Black and I'm Proud, and we just like I'm trying not to curse, but you're just like, we're going to be black. Nothing we can do is ever going to be acceptable because we understand that lesson, right? And I did a video about this topic, right? Because I look at it like it's kind of like a pyramid thing, right? So white people at the top, um, non-blacks in the middle, and black people at the bottom, right? I'm talking about when I say black people, I'm talking about all black people, no matter where you are, right? And what's different about Black Americans is that we escape that pyramid of black, where I say we're at, I call it the cool. The reason why I call it the cool is because think about it. When everybody wants to be cool and look hip, where do they go? They come to Black America. Look at Tyler. She comes to Black America. Like if
Well,
you
I
look
mean,
at
Tyler said
anybody,
she wasn't black anyway, so
yeah, but she tries to be in our spaces, is what
I
I'm
have to
saying.
push back on that though. When you said it's whitey people on top, non-black people, and no non-black people in the middle. I agree with that. I agree with those two. But when you say all black people, I have to push
Mm,
back on that because Harvard and
mm,
other, not Harvard. Harvard did a study or something like that, and what
mm.
Harvard has found out that a lot of these high degree and high earning jobs would rather hire Nigerians and other immigrants and other African and Caribbean immigrants over Black Americans.
Okay,
So there's a
I see.
certain
But when you
Wait,
category
approaching
for
just
hold
them to
on,
because,
stack
hold
to.
on, hold on.
right? I'm
Call
sorry.
me. Go ahead and land American, and then call me. You could go right after. I'm gonna get your ethnicity and then start your timer. Go ahead, and then we'll open the panel back up.
No,
Land your point, American.
I'm not. I think the other dude was talking. I interrupted. My bad.
Okay, so let's
Stop.
get to call me TKO. Can I have your ethnicity? And I'm gonna give you 3 minutes to speak.
I'm black as hell and I only need maybe 30 seconds to make my
Okay.
point.
All right, go ahead.
So,
Thanks,
oh,
Lynette.
oh.
Thanks, Black Beauty. We don't hear.
So
Are you
what happened?
speaking?
No. I just hear other noises. I don't know. I'm probably
Oh,
autistic,
that's
but
because they're the gift goals are being met, so that's why it's doing that. But go
oh,
ahead.
okay. I didn't know what was going on.
Go ahead.
My bad. No, I was down here fighting for my life because I hear good things and then it caveats into something else. And I'm like, well, damn, y'all don't remember exactly what they did? Like, we're supposed to be a little mad enough. And listen, I don't care about the back and forth. Somebody can say whatever they want to say if they hear something that's a lie. It's too much. It's too much. One thing I've learned about all races and ethnicities besides us, we normally mind our fucking business. Like, yeah, we gonna go to work. Yeah, we gonna go ahead and just pay attention and do what's. But one thing I've learned is that, yeah, when we hear some straight up BS, we gonna pull together. And I've been seeing a whole lot of lives like this, and I like it because, yeah, I think we are not our ancestors, but we will protect their values. We will protect what they did.
I'm my
But,
ancestors personified. I'm
well,
the wildest dreams on steroids.
well,
But go ahead.
there you go, there you go. We're a little different now. We're a little different. So when I say we're not our ancestors, meaning we're not about to be put in another place. Okay, yeah, you're right. It's a personification. We learned. So anybody that want to perpetuate what everybody else is still doing, no, don't do that. No, you don't have to.
Okay.
Was it
Well,
more than 30 seconds? How long was that?
2 minutes. Over 2 minutes.
Damn, you know what?
Everybody always say I don't need 3 minutes, and then they always, I just we said it anyways. But did anybody on the panel want to respond or ask a question
ju-
about what he just said?
real quick, real quick. So with the I'm our ancestors, I kind of don't like when people say we're not our ancestors because we are. And what I mean by that is that you got to remember they're teaching the history. When I didn't know until did my own studies in the '60s and stuff. Like they make it seem when you look on TV that they were all docile and just white people just one day said, "Okay, you guys can have civil rights." That's not how it happened. First of all, the Civil Rights Bill passed after Martin Luther King died. And one of the reasons why, because when he died, I'm sorry, when he was unalive, black people all over the United States turned up. Okay, I think they call it the street of rage. Like what you saw at BML and what's his name, George Floyd, it was like that on steroids all over the United States. You know what I mean? So they was with it. It's just it doesn't get advertised. It's kind of like how you'll never see a movie about the Haitian Revolution because they don't want that idea of turning up in the black mind. So, but if you look for yourself, you'll see that we've always been on top of that. Our answer's always been on that.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm just saying we're not, because what we're not about to do, because somebody in the comments said that they're about, she said, I think she meant to say ratify the 14th Amendment, but she said reconstruct. You can never reconstruct something without first codifying it first. So maybe that's what she meant, because yeah, you can do that when you think about the words. But what you have to do is you have to ratify it. You can't recodify anything besides ratifying it. You have to get rid of it first, and then bring something new back into law.
Yeah, I will say, in my opinion, to
But
respond
what
to
they did with the gerrymandering, well, if you get so many people into office that is against what it's saying, then guess what? Now you have more people in power that can make that 2/3 work.
Well, that's a lot of desperation because their numbers are dropping. They're not having kids like that.
Well, I mean, they're not having kids, but then you also, never mind. Let me just shut up.
Yeah,
yeah, I
Why we
was
have
because
to shut up? It's an open panel. You can express yourself. Just no inflammatory or derogatory language.
yeah, I was responding to what he was saying when he was saying that we are not our ancestors. I will agree, we are not our ancestors. We are descendants of our
There
ancestors.
you go.
And the reason why I say that is because the things that we are doing today are just simply not on the same level that our ancestors were doing back then. These people were
There you
carving out land and making city blocks out of them. These
go.
people was building cars like the Patterson Car Company, which he eventually started doing buses.
There you
These
go.
people were literally writing mathematical equations that allowed the United
There you
States to
go.
land on the moon. Like these people created Tuskegee University with only
Hey, we
$14 in
also
their
created the
pocket.
mail systems. They created
Right.
the mail system. The
Right.
the army and the mail system. That movie of all those black women doing. That's how the mail carriers today know how they're going to do their routes. How do you think it's dominated by black people? So
Right.
people need to stop playing with us before we dismantle.
When most people say they're not their ancestors, they don't mean it in a positive light or that our ancestors
Right.
were better though. Like, let's keep it real. When the
Right.
average person says
Right.
we're not our ancestors, they mean like I'm not docile, I'm not gonna lay down and take it, I'm not gonna let you beat my ass or water holds me down and just hang my head low and cross the street. So when I say that I am my ancestors, is because genetically I am,
We
and
are. We
I
are.
feel like
We are.
I think that we are reincarnations of our ancestors, like if you want to go a little deeper spiritually. But everybody has different perspectives. It's just like however you see God, you know what I mean? But we don't have to get too much into that.
I
No, I
believe in
love that though. No,
reincarnation
I love that
because
love. Listen, Jones, I love that because exactly what I was thinking. Like,
I
yeah,
believe
no,
in
we're not gonna do
reincarnation.
that. But what our brain is, we're just being reincarnated. I think I like
Hmm.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the reason why I say that is because they're looking out for us. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you guys been paying attention recently. Like every time they're doing something, it goes back to it flips back on them. You know what I'm saying? Like this whole Chud the Builder thing. You see what happened with that, and
Hmm.
I believe we're going to see it again with this gerrymandering. Just sit back and watch.
I'm gonna sit
Yeah.
back for a little bit.
I believe in reincarnation because when you like the way we sing like Aretha Franklin, Whitney Houston, or Luther Vandross, those are those ancestral cries that's manifesting through their voices whenever they're able to use that rhythm and they able to like to ripple and stuff like that. Those are those ancestors crying through them. Like when you hear those different emotions and everything like that, there's a spiritual connection to our ancestors when we sing like that. That's the reason why we have Whitney Houston and Aretha Franklin and Patti LaBelle and Luther Vandross and Teddy Pendergrass and all of these people. Those are ancestral cries whenever you hear them sing. As crazy as that
So,
sounds.
Yeah, you're right. You're
so
right.
I wanted to ask a question to the panel, not to the exclusion of the host. It seems like we're all men on this panel. What do you think is going to be necessary for us to reclaim our rightful, almost maybe not rightful, yeah, I'll say rightful,
No,
rightful
no, say
places
that. No,
as
say
the
that.
leaders of our, what'd you say?
No, say that. Say rightful because
Our rightful place as the head of our communities, and I guess to lead it into a secondary question, how is that going to be how could then that be used to start building up our communities in the same way that our predecessors did with some of these communities like Black Wall Street?
I
We
think this
have
is a great question for men to answer.
we have to restore the black family. That's one of them. You
well, I
know,
mean, I thought he posed that question to
Well,
love.
well, did
No,
you
that
want to
was
answer that,
to
Love?
us,
No, he
Oh,
said to
okay.
the panel without the exclusion
to
of
the
the
panel.
host.
yeah, we have to restore the black family, but also, the children are the main important factor in this because they're our future.
You know what?
And I think
Well, oh, are you done? I was gonna say one.
no, somebody said, I'm trying to. Baby, I don't. So the thing is, like the children are the future, and I think that we got to prepare young black boys to become more competent, capable, and qualified. Um, we have to start while they're young, but also we need a protective class of people, like ex-military,
Yeah.
um, and there are some good brothers in law enforcement too. We need ex-law enforcement, brothers who know how to handle firearms and stuff like that.
Well, maybe we
That
still need the Black Panther Party. Remember, that was a party of protective class. But remember what the FBI did to them?
Were dismantled,
Well,
infiltrated, and dismantled.
They
What did you
well,
dismantled
major
us.
plane American
I'm
Bullheaded? I think you were
sorry. I'm
talking.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Did you
no,
land?
I'm about to land right now,
Okay,
but
land, and
I,
then we could go down to the next person. Go ahead.
yeah, I feel like Black people need to prioritize silence. We need to become more like carbon monoxide. We need to be there without being detected. We need to become scentless, tasteless, and odorless in everything that we do, and understand that the code needs to be an unspoken rule in order to get things done more effectively because we're being watched.
Okay. Well, Caleb, you asked the question, so you want to answer the question that you asked?
Yeah, I think that it's going to require for us to, one, we have to really get our family units more intact with one another. I think that and I don't mean to derail it at all, but I think like the whole gender war sort of thing, that needs to go out the window for our community specifically. Like, we need our women need us. We need to be there for them. And we cannot build the community without them. I don't care what anybody is saying on social media or IRL. We can't do it without our women. And so that means that looks like we need like a somewhat of a cultural shift and overhaul back to the old ways. And I also think that with that sort of moral foundation, now we can start to build on that and capitalize on that, because you free up bandwidth to then look at how can I start creating the physical infrastructure. Once we have the familial infrastructure, now let's build up the physical infrastructure. So now we're talking about going and purchasing acres of land. Now we're talking about building roads, building homes, building shopping centers, building hospitals, building schools, these types of things. Now we're talking about electing our own public officials, these types of things. So I think it has to like stack upon itself in that way. Does anybody disagree with that?
Um, go ahead. You haven't said anything, Morpheus.
Well, what I was going to say is that I personally think we're on the process of that by delineation, because I think that's been one of the real big problems is that we've been so open as a culture, as a people, that it allows a whole bunch of different people on the outside that secretly hate us to infiltrate and create chaos. Like someone earlier said, the gender war. Now, if you look at the people that have the loudest mouths when it comes to the gender war, it comes from people from other ethnic groups. Like I know you made a video earlier, Love, about Myron Gaines. He was
Yeah.
going off on black women, and he's not the only one. There are people that try to look like us and come in there. Now, I'm not saying that in our own ethnic group it doesn't happen, but that is one key. We need to stay on code when it comes to our culture, and as you see that we're going on there, we need to go stronger on there. And because we do that, doesn't mean we hate other people. But when you
You love
when you
saying
cut,
that HAT word.
I
Jesus.
know, I know. my bad, my bad. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get TikTok ready for it. My fault. But what I'm saying is that we need to get codified on our own culture, because a culture is a glue to a people. Once we identify our culture and put respect on it, and then what we need to do as men, right? So if you look at every other culture of men, right, they try to get their own. Like, for example, white tea people, I notice this what they do. They'll go into a job, try to learn it, and try to build their own. That's why the whole concept of non-compete is really real, because that's what they do. So you do that, try to make your own business, and you try to hire within your community. This way you don't have little, YNs on the street causing havoc. You understand
Okay,
what I'm saying?
so can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So, do you believe the DEI was great for Black people, or who do you believe the DEI was created for?
I think they use us for it, but in practice, it went to YT women and
Okay,
immigrants.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay, okay.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I
'cause I'm
didn't say
not.
you. I didn't say you're invalid. Don't even say that. I know you're about to say that.
Oh, okay, okay.
No, that's
Okay, I
not
was
what I
just
was getting at. I was just gauging you.
yeah. No, what I'm just saying that we need to like, especially as men, because men we build the culture. We build society. So we have to because like let's be honest. Like I work in a corporate field. Like we get tired of their
Okay,
nonsense.
okay. So without telling me where you work, what do you do for work? Without telling me, so
Oh,
you won't deny telling me what you do for work.
well, I work in the medicine field. Put it that way.
Medicine. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So and you get tired of it. Like my brother, he's an electrician. And that's working with your hands. And there's a lot of what is it? I guess
What's wrong
racism.
with
Right?
blue
It's not the
collar?
word. No,
But
well, there's
what's
a lot
wrong
of
with blue
race.
collar?
There's a lot of racism in there. You know what I'm
Well,
saying? He
yeah.
has to.
I mean, but it's also a lot of racism in white collar.
Yeah, but like they're actually really really in your face in the blue collars. What I'm saying is that it'd be great. It'd be great if there was
A
like
little
a
bit,
whole bunch. There
because
was
I'm
a
tired of
whole
the
bunch.
shit too. But I don't work in medicine. I'm in
Yeah,
administration, but
yeah.
I'm
Well,
gonna
you know what
figure
I'm
out what
saying.
that is.
Well, like for example, like I'm pretty sure we all have family members that are like, oh, your uncle or your granddad built a house. Like my grandfather is a carpenter. You know what I mean? He knows how to build a house and stuff like that. And
Right.
like one of the reasons why they burnt down Tulsa is that all those men were skilled craftsmen, so they
There
had
you
better
go.
houses than the white
There,
tea people.
there you go. There
You
you
know,
go.
if a lot of us was in that, we could have really nice houses on the cheap right now. But that's one of the reasons why they got rid of was it Home Shop or whatever. Like, like back I think it's like in the 80s or 70s in high school you can learn how to
Shop
be.
class.
Yeah, and they got
Yeah.
rid of it. That's one of the reasons because that like low key we were the Mexicans
Woodworking.
before.
We know how to woodwork. Hold on, we didn't forget that skill, did we? It's a skill.
No, no, I'm saying it was easier because it was already in high school already. You
Yeah.
understand? You
So
didn't
you
have.
came out certified.
Yeah,
They
because
took
I
it.
Yeah,
know
They
I
took it
have.
out of the high schools in 1969. They took it out of the high schools,
No,
especially
but
the
I
black
still
high
have
schools.
that know-how. You can't tell me. Okay, so one thing I know what we advocate is you can't take away my knowledge from me. You can take away anything else that you want to, but one thing you can't take away from me is my knowledge of the know-how.
I can't carve wood to save my life, but I can carve some ice
Well,
cream.
you know what you
All
better do.
right. Hold on, guys.
Yeah.
We got a new. Oh, okay. Go ahead. There was somebody else up here, but they left.
I'm perplexed.
Yeah, I'll
Did
take
you
some
want
of
to
the.
answer the question? Call me TKO about how what the question that Caleb asked. What was the question again? How can we get back to what was the question? How did
So
you
I,
frame
so
it?
I,
I can
yeah.
admit. I think it was how black men can build this society. The society is that right?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
what we create.
I think,
Oh,
in my personal opinion, I did say, and I like how you expounded on family structure. I said family structure earlier, but I didn't expound on it. And you did a very good job expounding on that. That
What's
was
up?
very good the way that you laid that out. But I also believe that we need to have a better and more sentimental relationship with money
Hmm.
and understand how to move money and really develop a harmonious relationship with money. Right?
No,
That's very
well,
important.
well, I mean, we have to understand how money works, but I don't think we need to be in love with money. Let's
But
not.
that's not necessarily what I was
Well,
saying.
I know. I'm trying to expand. I'm trying to expand. That's how I took it first, but right, I have to. One thing I have to do is understand what I think is called perception. So I have to understand what I'm thinking, and then now I have to break it down to layman. So harmonious. So we have to move with. It's just like the flow. What is money? They call it cash flow for a reason, right? Money moves slick like water. If you blink, you will miss it.
So what?
Think about
Okay,
that. Think about
but
that.
oh, I'm sorry, you were still going. I didn't mean
Yeah,
to
you don't
cut
have
you
to
off.
respond quick.
People move money pretty well. I mean,
Well, yeah, they do. I mean, because they are harmonious with money. Move with it.
ain't nothing wrong with money though. I mean,
Well, ain't nothing wrong with it. If you don't have it, you're gonna be broke. You're gonna be living on the ground. I mean,
What is
I'm just
the
trying
what
to
is
figure out where
okay?
I'm going to invest in. Am I investing in an idea or a solution?
But that's okay.
Yeah, no,
We're,
this is where you
yes, we need
tell it.
to
That's why I said at the
we
gate.
need to we do need
Real
to
people
be
be on this
financially
app.
responsible. But here's the thing: the best way for
Financial
you
literacy.
to be able to galvanize resources is to do that within the confines of
Also,
a marriage.
I'm also part of the oversight. So
Is there a lag?
what do we need to do with the money in order for, because people like to lie. The human being, the original human being.
I also think we need a apprenticeship, especially like for people that are real skilled. Like we definitely need to push
Yes,
apprenticeship, especially
yes,
to
yes,
the young ones. And
yes,
when and that'll also help with the money thing. This way, it can circulate in our own communities as
yes.
well. If I know my little homeboy Jamal is I don't know, a carpenter. He's
Okay.
apprenticeship as a carpenter, and I know him since he was a little kid. I'm going to go with him if I need a carpenter.
Hell
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? And that money stays in the thing. Like, for example, I have friends from different backgrounds. Like, I have my homeboy, he married a Guyanese woman, right? Now,
Okay.
her family is all into tech, and they helped him get into like IT. Now he works at and they moved to DC. They work in what's the government thing? That big government thing in DC. Now
Um,
he does the DOJ. He works for the DOJ now,
that's not
doing
the big. That's
cybersecurity.
not the big government in. It's actually in Virginia, but let's get
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah. It's Virginia, but I'm just using that as an example of how they helped each other's culture because a lot of Indians and Guyanese are trying to get people in tech. You follow what I'm saying?
no,
You don't know about how Indians do it? Like when they come here, they barely know anything, but
I
they'll
mean, but
teach
they
you.
stay. But what they do? Let me tell you. Okay, so have you seen the movie 2012? And I promise you, this is what they're doing still today, because we don't take in new. Not for real. They stay in their country. We communicate with them. We visit, and then we allow them to visit. That's why you
Uh,
have the immigration clause. They're
guys,
supposed to come over here and work.
yeah,
I'm
guys.
not talking about that. I'm talking about how they try to teach each other
talking
when they're
about how they
here.
form their own companies. I think that's what you were saying.
Correct. So like,
Oh,
okay, so let's say you're a
let me
family
shut
member.
up.
Let's say I'm in IT, right? And you're going job to job. I would try to
Right?
teach you and walk you through the process to do the same job as me. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they do extra, they even cheat for them. I don't advocate for that, but they do.
See
You know
what
what
I'm saying?
I'm saying?
See
Guys,
what I'm
to
saying?
be honest,
Listen,
to be
listen,
honest,
listen.
I
You
don't
to
gotta
be
stop.
honest, you guys are like
You
far
gotta
off
stop.
base.
Exactly. No. Yeah, he is far off.
Like
I
you guys have
I'm keeping it
No,
trailed
no.
real.
off
Don't
into
say you
like
guys. That's
Wonderland.
plural.
Yeah, we're not on track right now.
Yeah.
No, what I'm saying
I
is
mean, y'all got
with
off
regard
track
to
earlier, but I was trying to get you back on track, Caleb, and then you veered the fuck off again, like a damn truck that was going down a damn dirt road. It was a dirt stop.
oh really, what did I say that veered us off track?
Well, I forgot because now we're far into the conversation that I'm now focused on this conversation before I heard what you said previously.
Okay, so then it would be safe to say that okay.
I forgot.
I'll
So
keep
what
it
I
let's
just
keep
said
it
was
friendly.
invalid,
So what I'm
right?
saying is this. What I was trying
I
to
tell
get
on
what I was
myself.
trying to tease
Listen,
out from you guys what I was trying to tease out from you guys was what do you think?
tell zero lies.
Because it's all men on this panel, right? What do
You know
you
what? Let me
think
invite some
that
women.
what do you think
I
that
know.
we
I
as
know.
men need to do in order to build up our community? Like, what are the foundational steps that we need to take
Exactly.
as
That's
men
what
to do
exactly.
that?
Exactly. Exactly. Well, can you answer first? You're a man.
Okay.
You pose the question.
So, yeah, so I think that first, what we need to do is we need to build up our familial infrastructure.
Okay, that's
What does
family.
that mean? Family. I think once that is set, and you can do some of these things in parallel, then you
Okay.
can start, because
Together.
when you have a family unit, you can instill certain morals and ethics within into that family that
Okay.
would prime them for community building. Then, once you have that done, you
Okay.
can start. Go ahead.
No, I'm gonna
You're
let you
trying to say something.
finish. No, I'm gonna let you
Yeah. So
finish.
once you have that familial infrastructure down, then you can actually start building a material infrastructure
Mm.
on top of that.
So hold on. So now we need to understand what you mean by
A material
material. So that
infrastructure meaning we could
it's
start
empirical,
gathering
right?
capital, resources,
Right.
land,
Right.
that
Okay.
type of
Right.
stuff. Yeah.
Right. Right. Okay. Okay. What else?
So once you have that material and financial capital where you're starting to amass resources and starting to build up the
Well,
physical
I thought it was
infrastructure.
financial and then material.
So the financial infrastructure, yeah, you're gonna need finances to gather resources, but
Right.
that's one of the reasons why you have a family unit as well, right? One of the
Exactly.
main
Right.
ways for us to get out of poverty and to actually get
I'm not in
ahead,
poverty.
especially in this country. I know, I'm just saying in general. One of the main ways that we were able to do that was by having these intact family units. That's why we were able to do the Black Wall
Okay.
Streets and
So
the Broken Homes.
do you not think we don't have that now?
I think we have it, but it's not strong enough to do what we want to do, like they did, like our predecessors.
Okay. So what do you propose? What's your proposal?
My proposal is that one,
Make it elevator.
yeah,
And
I
then
mean,
after
really,
this, we got a new person on the panel. I gotta
Yes,
let her
ma'am.
know.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
okay,
Love.
yeah, I'll try to make this 20 seconds. I think overall, I think the men need to step up more than what we are doing in being men, and we need to start focusing on family creation in our community, instilling the right ethics and morals in our families, and going from there.
Okay, that makes sense. So what we believe we should be able to tell our offspring, this is what you need to do. So we're just gonna feed their brains with just regurgitates. Okay.
All right, Quaisha, hey boo.
Hello, Bones. Hello,
What's
panel.
up?
Hello, gentlemen. Can you hear me?
Yes, you
Yes,
got three
ma'am.
minutes straight with no interruptions. Go ahead.
Okay, so the answer to the prompt, I'm a little airy about the prompt because I don't like what I'm seeing is being pushed as our culture. I feel like a lot of the issues that are arising, behavior that is arising, consequences that are being happening to us, like Deshaun, gentleman that did what he did to the fellow Fulio. A lot of that is kind of being propped up as look at our culture. This is what we do. This is how we do, and that's not fully the truth. So I'm a little airy about that question. I feel like anytime we get implemented, it's only implemented for that, and then they take credit for what we do when we're doing good, when we're being phenomenal, when we're being that level of excellence. So that's just my only issue with the prompt. Now to answer the gentleman, I always hear the gentleman say that we need to start with the family and we need to start with the money when it comes to their role in fixing or help repairing or growing or further pushing our community. Those are never the answers because y'all been doing that for the last 60, 70 years. The answer is community overall because when you focus on the family unit, you leave people out. Family, when you guys say it, is only men and women. Our community, as far as FBA, is bigger than that. You have to include everybody. And nobody should be excluded out of that quote unquote family unit. My grandmother was born 1948. Her mother was born 1919. My great grandmother had 9 children. They multiplied and then they multiplied and then they multiplied. But how they made it through the sharecropping era in South Carolina was community as a whole. The parents, the neighbors, the children, their children's friends, they all worked together. When one left South Carolina and they went up north, they took 5 with them. When the next group came in, they took 5 more with them. When it came down to the job opportunities, they weren't being stingy. They weren't being in competition. If they knew their neighbor next door up north had a job at the factory, they made sure that somebody else got that same job right next to them at the factory. They weren't afraid to work and get their hands dirty. They weren't afraid to make sure that their families and their kids were fed. They also made sure that somebody watched the children at all times, man or woman. It wasn't one role versus the other. It was community the whole way through. So the only way that I see that our men can step into that role is if they get rid of this mindset of following what the pale people be doing and follow what their family was doing, which is overall community. Volunteering for football camps, volunteering for basketball camps, bringing in programs. These children have nothing to do. So what are they going to do? They're going to listen to Young Thug. They're going to listen to that person. And next thing you know, we get more Sean's.
I still can't disagree with you. I still can interrupt you. I love you, girl. Okay.
I want to ask you a question. So, because my grandmother was born in 1921 in Birmingham,
I still
Alabama,
can't.
right? So, I agree with your point about I think you're correct with regard to the overall macro economy of the community, right? Like, I agree with that. However, that community that you're speaking of was primarily populated by our predecessors who were in families. I mean, do you disagree with that?
Can I interrupt you with that? I understand where you're getting at, but think about it. Y'all men been populating like Nick Cannon all over this country as is.
Well, yeah, no.
So
Let's not get into personal antidotes.
Well, I mean, it's the truth. There are a lot of men who
Well,
have multiple children under
okay.
multiple families, and you still leave.
What does that mean?
You still
So
leave.
you said, hold on, baby, I'm
somebody
not arguing
out.
with you. What I'm saying is, okay, Nick Cannon is taking care of his children. He's taking care of all of them. So what does that personal antidote mean?
That personal antidote mean when you are discussing the family, you're only thinking of one way. And I need the men in the community to stop doing that. They need to think opposite. The other men think
Okay,
one on
so the
one.
personal antidote mean okay.
You know what I'm saying? When they say, "Oh, well, my family," you're only circling your circle. What about your children's friend at the school? You can't take that kid in. It's when you say family unit, y'all still exclude a lot of people. Where the community went wrong, that started dividing within yourself, and you started to exclude people. It all became mine, me and mine's, me and mine's, me and mine's, me and mine's, my wife, my kids, my grandkids, my great grandkids. You forgot about your nieces, your nephews. You forgot about your cousins. You forgot about the play cousin from down the street. You forgot about little John on the other side of the city who used to play football with your kid. He ain't had
But
no
he
school
still
lunch.
needs guidance. Exactly. But he still
You
needs
Let
leave
me
guidance.
ask a
people
question.
out. You
Wait,
cannot do.
hold on.
I'm
Someone in the
sorry.
comments saying that she preaching stepfather culture. No, she's
No.
not. But at the end of the day, if community and it takes a village to raise children, this is how our ancestors, or just a couple generations back, this is how they operated. The ones that you all say were so successful, they operated community based. So if someone didn't have a father in the home, men in the community would still father him in a way. Not saying that you have to pick up the slack or
Hell no, we not.
pay for anybody else's kids. Calm down. Nobody's saying that you have to pay for anyone else's children. However, if your son is friends with a
I
boy
know.
that doesn't have a father figure in the home, it wouldn't hurt to be a
I
mentor
know.
or to do, please don't to do
I'm
like
sorry.
big brother type activities. You know what I mean? Like, There's this guy where I saw that he was doing content, and I don't even know if he was a teacher. I don't know who he was, but he seemed to be a man about like the community, and he would literally gather, he's on here right now on TikTok. He would gather a group of boys, like young boys, maybe 10 or so, and take them to Home Depot and tell them about tools. Like he makes content like this right now, 2026. Teach them about tools, teach them about consent. Like he would get them and take them to do activities. He literally would like teach them about being a man, or oh yeah, because you need to learn how to hang a picture frame, and this is what a hammer does, and pliers and tools and nails, because when you have your family, this is what you're gonna have to do for your family. Like he's instilling values into these boys, and they're not his children. He's probably not related to any of them. So that's the point that's being made. And you saying hell no, nobody's asking you to take care of somebody's child that's not yours.
I didn't
But
mean it like
collectively,
that though.
yeah, but
I mean, it could
collectively,
have been came off like that.
it did come off like that. You
It
said hell
did.
no.
It
As soon
did.
as I
And
said
I would say
something,
because
Jesus Christ, like whoa. But that's what I
because she
mean.
said because if you mean stepfather, because what she said was stepfather activities. That's why I told her hell no,
no,
it's not
I'm
step.
sorry. That's how you see it. I grew up with Big Mama. Big Mama didn't care who kid you was.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, tell me something.
This is the same energy for women and men. Women still do it. I still do it.
Me
I know
too.
mentors. I know
Because y'all were raised
I can
right.
count. I can count on one hand, less than one hand really. I only need two fingers to count the black men that I know in my community where I live at that are actually sticking out their necks, and they're making sure these other young men and these other young girls is doing what they're supposed to be doing. And I could say
Okay.
proudly,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
every single young man that he had under his wing went on to college, went on and get a trade, not in jail and got no record. They doing a big one. They're teachers. They're in the community. They're hosting events and being positive. They're making
Damn, so I'm a
positive
grown
music.
man now. I have to do this.
Grown men. He raised grown men in a high school public system with the after school program. You can't tell me it cannot be done. But when y'all get on these panels, y'all get on this internet. No,
Baby.
I'm saying as a
Baby.
whole, they get on the panels, they get on the internet, and it's family. I love that answer. That answer is nice when it's personal. We talking about community. What can men and women do as a community? You see
Yeah.
that baby hungry, and you
For sure.
and
I'm
you already
feeling.
you already at the ice cream
Or
truck getting you a
herbs.
sandwich. You can't get that baby
Well,
ice
yeah.
cream too.
Yes, I will.
And you want the
Within
But
real answer?
I'm not seeing
Well, I
you in
mean, you're a
particular.
Republican, so
I'm not seeing you in particular, honey.
Who's
I'm
a
saying
Republican?
in general.
I think you
I'm
are.
saying in general. That's all
No,
I'm
I'm
So
saying.
not.
my problem with here's my thing, because I think that we're going into a dichotomous viewpoint on this, like a
It's a moot point.
dichotomous
It's a moot point.
conversation with
It's a moot
regard to
point. It's
this.
a moot point.
So what I'm saying, so what I'm saying is, I think it's a little more nuanced. So what?
What
Um,
changed?
no, I'm saying
Let
it's
him
a little more
talk, man.
nuanced. So what I'm saying is, we it that needs to happen. Yes, there has to be a communal sense of responsibility, right? But the
Just like a
men that are,
factorial.
You gotta stop interrupting people.
Okay,
bro,
but I'm really telling the truth.
But you really gotta stop interrupting people. Let
That's
yeah,
people
so,
land their planes, and then you could go.
yeah. So all I'm saying is this: we do need a community that is willing to help each other out. When I'm saying family, I think that it's being understood as some sort of like individualistic, secluded, group of people that's doing their own thing. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that we need to have a communal mindset, but the men that are going to be more likely wanting to volunteer their time when we do see our sisters that are, in those unfortunate situations, are going to be the men that value family and have family values. I don't think that the current way in which we are handling this situation is scalable, and and I don't think it's going to be a tenable solution for the future.
Okay. So do you believe the unaliving rate of black on black crimes is down? And that's an important question to ask. I want
It
everyone to
is.
know that.
It is. There's a 20-year down on that. It's already been
20
studies on
years.
this.
Yeah, it's studies on it. So I want to ask him. So since he believes that we shouldn't do, listen, let me tell you what we haven't been doing. We understand. Listen, when we tell each other to calm down, we calm the fuck down. We be like, oh okay, you right.
I'm sorry, were you asking a question in that?
Well, I mean, okay. Go ahead, Republican.
Don't use
Okay.
those words. They're gonna think that we're
Okay.
promoting political parties. You could say red party, blue party.
Okay, Red Party. Go ahead, Red Party.
Is that you talking to
Right,
me?
because what is he talking about? I mean,
I don't know
because, hold on, you said, okay, let me ask, I want to finish this, and I want to finish testing you, okay, because I'm about tired of you.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
What is going on?
I don't know. This guy's got a stick up his butt or something. I don't know what's
Why are you
going
being
on.
sassy, man? Chill the heck out.
Lord.
Just because, damn.
Yeah, you sassy as heck, man. This dude didn't say nothing wrong, man. You over here talking nonsense, man. Get out of here, man.
Morpheus, I don't think you know what the fuck you talk about. You sound like
Bro,
you.
first of all,
Oh
shut
my
up,
Hold on,
man.
God.
first off,
You
hold
wouldn't
on,
do
you shut up.
nothing.
Don't tell me
You
to shut
wouldn't do
up. Don't
nothing.
argue with
Oh
me.
You wouldn't do
boy.
nothing. I'll slap you in your sassy face. You wouldn't
Bitch,
do
you
Come
better
nothing.
not,
on,
because
calm, pipe
Man,
down,
shut up.
calm
You
down.
wouldn't do nothing.
listen.
Oh my goodness. Y'all don't need to be arguing, but everybody just needs to relax and take a woosah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Now,
Yeah, we
you
got all
can,
these Republicans.
Woody, please
Shut
stop
up, you
saying
sassy
that.
hoe.
I don't want people to think I'm promoting any type of
Bro,
politics over here.
Yeah,
don't you know
Nah.
this is a
I don't think
plant?
you gotta stop doing
You
that.
can't tell this is a plant, love? Because he called
I
everyone a
don't
you know what.
know.
A plant? I said you.
You a plant. You over here talking to this guy. He's saying
How
some
do you
real
know I'm a
stuff.
plant?
Yeah.
What if I was
First of
talking
all,
about you?
because you keep calling everyone a read, which I'm
What
not.
if
I'm
I
trying to be
what if
respectful.
I was talking about you though?
You were just
But
talking
just
about
because
him.
I,
But yeah,
but
yeah,
just
go
because
ahead.
I'm so
Yeah,
but just because I'm
because you're
articulate
sassy.
and
You're
just
not
because my
articulate. First
words
of
make
all, there's nothing
sense.
articulate about
Yeah,
you. You
okay.
sound like a
Yeah,
sassy queen.
I mean
Look here, man.
I'm
Hey,
telling the
go get
truth.
some Bucci, man. Go get your Bucci cat out of here,
Damn,
Oh
man.
is
my
that
God.
what
Stop.
is that?
Don't call at him a
You know what
sassy
that is. That's
queen.
what you did
Jesus
a
Christ.
five minutes ago.
Hold
Y'all
up,
gotta
hold up.
relax.
You know what?
Y'all
You
got
know
a
what?
whole
I
lot
don't know
going
what the
on.
hell he talking about.
You know
Y'all
what
got
I'm
a
talking
lot going
about.
on.
No, the fuck I
It is
don't.
it is
Yeah, you
no need to
do.
go there. It's
Sassy
no need to
queen.
go there. It's no
Shit.
need to go there.
We be in the damn. You know what?
What is happening?
Yeah, bro.
Y'all
We
got a
should
whole lot
Yeah.
y'all got a
we
whole
should
lot
be
to
able to
touch
have a
on going
mature
on.
discussion.
Breathe.
If this
Yeah,
is
we should
what
be
you
able to have a
listen,
mature
if
discussion
Morpheus
about
is
talking
what
about
you
it.
want,
Yeah, yeah. Listen, hey, you know what? Be
see what
quiet,
I'm
bro.
saying?
You over there running your mouth this whole
What?
time talking nonsense.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
Damn. No,
to
to
you and your
everyone.
boyfriend up
Everyone.
there.
You're the one with the boyfriend. You got two guys behind you, man. Shut the heck up,
No, the
Oh
sassy
fuck I
my
queen.
don't.
God.
You know what?
Yeah, go
I'm not
go
about
go
to
to a
argue with you.
catwalk somewhere. Yeah,
There's
you're laughing because
sometimes
you
you're
know it's true,
supposed to argue
bro. You're the
because
biggest
I can
queen
show
I've
you
ever
my camera,
seen.
then I'm gonna shut you up. But I ain't trying to embarrass you like
What, you
that.
gonna look like you gonna look like a punk like you are? You can't even shut
What
your
Hey,
mouth.
I'm
be
a punk? I'm a
nice.
punk.
Y'all
Y'all
You are
rude
a
gotta
as
punk.
stop.
ever
You
up
oh my
here.
God.
Y'all rude as ever up here.
They
It's
Too
okay.
is.
It's
much.
not
They
that
No,
deep.
you
is.
a punk. You've been over here interrupting everybody with your
No, I only
sassiness, talking
interrupted you.
retarded.
I only
No,
interrupted you.
you interrupted the other guys over here too.
Morpheus, you're just
I've been quiet.
unhinged.
I've been quiet the
Something
whole
is wrong
time.
with
I've
you.
been quiet the
No,
whole time,
something
and I
is
had to
wrong
hear
with
your
you. Something is
sassiness.
wrong with you.
No, something's
Okay,
wrong
I'm gonna
with
let you
you.
talk.
Something's wrong with you, Queen.
Oh
Sit
my
down
God.
someplace.
Oh, Morpheus, you gotta, they keep saying you gotta go because I kept
And
telling
literally,
y'all not to use inflammatory language or to say certain things. You got restricted.
and this is also what I meant too by y'all leaving people out. Y'all be leaving people out for no reason just because of your own difference. It's never that deep in this life. Because last I checked, we all black.
Yes, ma'am.
Like I don't understand why the back and forth even needed to take place. If you disagree with somebody's point, you disagree with their point. There's no need to go in deeper into
Don't
their
bring up
personal.
personal antidote.
I never went to nobody's personal. And if anybody in the comments feel that way, you take it up with your mama. Now that's personal. I did
I
not.
love you, girl.
I'm so for real. I'm sick of people making a point that's valuable, and instead of going against their point, you want to take it personal. Oh, you talking about gender war? You talking about? I'm saying as a community, it's not just the two unit mom and dad. It is everybody. Everybody got to do it. That's the problem. That I asked my grandmother that, and she said the problem is y'all don't know how to stick together. Y'all don't know how to stick together because it's always me, mine. Black men also have a heavy influence on the culture. Black women don't follow it necessarily 100%, but we are still influenced by y'all desires, by what y'all want, by what y'all like. Y'all say one thing and do the complete opposite. I'm saying, to answer the question that was also posed in the previous panel, this is something that men can do. You can easily go down to the YMCA, go help a kid do basketball. There's other programs that you can help and spend time with. That's
Yes,
the
ma'am.
problem. Ain't nobody
Yes,
spending time
ma'am.
with these kids. Y'all
Yes,
always
ma'am.
point it on the mama. It's
Yes, ma'am.
everybody. The aunties, the big cousins, everybody.
Exactly.
Everybody got to put a hand in. These kids are our kids. You see some kids on the street being a knucklehead, you supposed to also be like, hey, what you doing? Call that out. We don't do that as a community. When you start doing community, you change the culture. You change the culture. We won't have no Sean's. Sean came from a 2-parent household. They had good money.
Yes,
And he
ma'am.
still did what he did to another person who's supposed to be another brother. This happens every day. You can't skip over that. It's community. Everybody. Both
Yeah,
sides.
so I agree with you. Like, I think that
Yes,
community
ma'am.
is needed. I just don't think that what you're proposing is scalable or tenable in any
It
But we're
society.
is.
not thinking
It
about
is.
business. We're not
No,
thinking
it
about business.
is.
Hold on. I have a business degree, and then when you talk about scalable, that's the only thing my mind goes to. Okay, how does he want to create his business? How does he want to
Look how I
exploit
do it.
black people? So hold on. I promise I'm not telling a lie. Because there was another mayor of the same place.
Everybody double tap the screen. We should at least have 50K likes by
Yeah, do
now.
something like
Add to the gift goal at the top. Send your heart me's.
they
We're probably gonna
we
be on
are.
here for maybe like 10 more minutes because this is a lot going on. And there's only a couple people up here for it to be so goddamn much. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ, help
Let's
us.
double tap the screen. Caleb, I don't know who was saying something, but I need to say something to what's the word. So speak on both sides. You sound biased. You the one keep saying gender wars. First of all, she literally mentioned women's role in this 50 fucking thousand times. What more do you want? It's like accountability is like motherfucking kryptonite for some of y'all.
It's nil.
It's ridiculous at this point. She literally said women do it because we do. We always doing a carpooling. We help each other, and we don't have to have children to help other people with children in the community.
Preach. Because I
So
sure
I
don't
don't
got no kids, and
understand
I be spending bread
why.
on these
This
kids.
is what I'm saying. Why y'all keep acting like, oh, well, what about what women? Women do every fucking thing when it comes to child rearing. And we don't even have to have kids. We help our family members with the kids. We help friends, neighbors,
Man.
anybody. Anytime we see children in the street, I went up to the ice cream truck and bought children ice cream cones that I didn't fucking know from a hole in the wall. I've had little girls come up to me and ask me questions about all sorts of things, and I've sat down and
And
spoke to
talk to
them.
them.
So it's not just about, oh, what about women? Women are already doing these things. So we're saying if men match what women were doing community wise, then we would be way further. Gender wars at this point, we have bigger fish to fry, but we have to also address the elephant in the room. I used to address the shit all the time and say exactly what y'all said, and y'all would cuss me out like a dog in the street. I literally would say exactly what y'all would say. Choose better. If you make a mistake, don't do it 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 times.
I
Show
mean,
up, be better. And y'all would cuss me out. It's just because you don't like to hear certain things coming from a
well,
woman, period.
I'm about to follow you. I've been on your panel before. I just didn't know that I would like you this much.
Oh, Lord. You are a character.
You should have been following her. Hold on.
Well, I mean,
Hold on.
well, I've been on her
Whoever is
panel.
not following me, follow me.
I've been on her panel once before.
Pause the live.
So I just met
If
her.
y'all not following my girl Love Jones, I need to go ahead and hit that follow
Okay.
button and stop
Well, then
playing.
there we go.
Share the
I did it.
live. Like the
Well,
live. Stop
Excuse me.
stop playing
Period.
on my boo top. For real, for real.
because ain't
Y'all
nothing wrong
love
with
doing
her.
that.
Listen,
Y'all love
ain't
doing
nothing
that.
wrong with her.
But y'all keep acting like what she's saying is something wrong, and it's really above
Ain't
me
no
now.
wrong what she's
'Cause
saying.
she didn't say anything that was like, what the
Of
It's
fuck?
not
detriment.
hard. It's not hard at all. It is the easiest thing to do because I'm doing it right now. I have a job. I have a career. I help my family. I help the other kids' family. I've done the work. I've actually mentored young boys and young girls. Again, like I
See, I
said, all of them went to
promise I
college.
want to.
All of them went to trade school. If I could do that at 18, y'all could do that at 35 and 40. I don't, I don't understand.
You know what? You know,
I
that's
don't
too late.
understand what the
You know
problem
what?
is.
Damn,
You make
ma.
it sound like it's so hard. I'm not even 30 yet, and I've
Can I
already
ask?
done it.
Can I
Oh,
ask?
girl, that's too late. If they doing it at 30 and you'd already done it,
It's doable, and that is my only issue with what Caleb said. It's not that it's impossible. Y'all choose not to do it. Y'all would give me 5 excuses instead of me giving me one good reason why you should.
you
Okay.
It
should.
does not make
Mm.
sense.
Okay.
Oh
Y'all
my
start.
God, this is why I'm always.
Let Caleb say something because
What
he
he
was
want to
trying.
say?
Go ahead, Caleb.
Yeah, I want to ask, and this is actually for both of you, for Love Jones and EXO. Do you two think that
He
what
never
I'm
addressed
saying?
men, but
Could you
I've been
leave him
addressing it.
alone and let him
I've been
like he's
addressing it all
literally been
along.
entertaining the
okay, I'm
conversation.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Caleb.
This dude is crazy. Um. Uh.
Go ahead.
Okay. For Love Jones, EXO, do you guys think that what I'm saying is that it's impossible to do this, to have community where men are volunteering their time to help give themselves to young men that they're not directly related to? Is that what you guys are hearing when I'm saying what I'm saying?
No.
I'm
I
sorry.
hear.
Can you repeat the question? I didn't even hear it. And then.
Okay. Do you hear when from the answer that I gave, that I'm saying it's impossible for men to engage with young men and give themselves to them and help them learn like essential skills for life and whatnot? Is that what you're
No.
hearing?
Well, I'm going to answer first. It just sounds like you're saying that you have to start with your own family first. And a lot of men don't have families. So just because you don't have a family, does that mean that you don't help your community? Does that mean that you don't pour into children that are already existing and walking around, that could use some type of mentorship or listening ear or advice? That's what I hear you, because you keep saying it starts with the family. But what if you don't have a family yet? You're still an able-bodied person that could pour into people. You could still be a pillar of your community without having a family.
I see what you're saying. So what I think is, like, given where we are currently, right? Let me know if you agree or disagree with this. I think it would behoove us to start there, like what you and EXO are talking about, right? It would behoove us to start there, but the end result should still be that should lead to family
Absolutely.
formation, in which now that new infrastructure of family formation is permeating throughout our community, where we still have that cultural habit of helping each other out in community. Do you agree or disagree with that?
Absolutely.
All right,
And
yeah, that's what I would. Yeah,
and I will
Caleb, I'm
say,
trying to be on your side.
and I will say, I have witnessed some of the young men that I help mentor. They have families of their own. They take care of their kids, or they have that family unit. It's not that it can't be done. The issue is you got to start somewhere. And if you're waiting to have your own family, like how Love Jones just said, you'll be waiting 30, 40 years. Like, start sooner. Help
Start
these babies
sooner.
sooner. Because here's the thing. Because let me tell you, while you waiting on family, Young Thug out here already influencing these kids. It may not even be no family to even be created. You got to start sooner. You got to get the ball rolling. It's not that
So
complicated.
so what she's saying is dynamic versus nuclear. You want a nuclear family that you might not never get. I mean, by the way you're talking, I think you need to just start a dynamic family unit, because I mean, it's people out here that probably need you, but there will never be. And I ain't, well, never is a bad word.
Did you
There
hear
I'm
the?
probably,
I'm not
Did
I'm
you
I'm
hear what
not
me and Love Jones just got done talking about? I feel like that just nobody heard
well,
it.
I just
no.
went to the bathroom, so
Hold
no, I didn't. So
hold on,
Okay.
I
Caleb.
didn't
I'm
want to
not
hear
saying
none he
that.
said.
Caleb, I'm not saying that. I agree. I hear what you're saying. Your concern is the nuclear. I'm not disagreeing with that. That still holds a very high value. But right now, what's happening, you have a lot of nuclear families. But the outside community, what's based on the culture right now,
Yeah,
it's not helping that nuclear family continue to grow. You have to do
exactly.
both. You have to do both. And it's
And
easier
Right.
she's
to
telling
start
you the
and
truth.
and it's easier to start with community first because now you're affecting the younger ones. So now my students who are now in their early 20s, they have that family, they have that nuclear
They have
family.
that.
They have it and they're
Right.
flourishing and they're doing good. And then that
Doing
passes on to the
good.
next one. And then that passes on to the next one. And then it becomes a each one teach one. You ever heard of that phrase? Each one teach one. When you know better, you do
Yes,
better.
definitely.
That's all I'm saying. I'm
Right.
not
So
I'm
EXO,
I'm I'm not trying to
did
come at
you?
nobody top. I
No, you're
agree
not
with
coming
both
at me.
of
So
you.
I don't take anything. You're not
Well, I
offending me
mean,
in
you
any way, shape, or
should.
form. So EXO, when I um said to
Yeah, he
Love
want to
Jones,
deepen his voice to act like he ain't doing shit wrong.
Jeez
And
Louise,
then
man,
that's just like a
what is
Rachel.
up with this guy,
Y'all
man?
remember Rachel when
Yo, this
Rachel
is crazy.
decided to create? Let me tell
Friend,
you
let
something.
friend
What is
let
going on with
Okay,
this dude,
friend
man?
let
okay.
Caleb talk. Let Caleb talk because
This
he
is
he
wild.
I don't think me and him are seeing eye to eye.
I know.
I don't understand why. But it's okay. Go
Yeah,
ahead,
I wanna,
Caleb.
I wanna, I wanna clear it up because honestly, EXO, I think we are seeing eye to eye. So what I said to Love Jones was this: I said
Love
we
Jones
should.
just
I
let us
think that,
continue when
bro,
Go
jeez
ahead,
Louise,
Caleb.
man. What I said to Love Jones was we should start where you guys are saying we should start that way, where we're influencing that men are willing to give their time to younger men, train them up, help them get life skills, help them instill some moral and ethics within them. We need a community effort to do that, but the result of that should be a new familial infrastructure being that undergirds our community, whereby which now, since men are teaching these young men to do this, and this new familial infrastructure has been developed, they continue that, but now we're more strong because we have the infrastructure, the familial infrastructure, to really, in a more effective fashion, instill those morals and ethics and really do a lot of good throughout the entire community. So it should start where you guys are saying and then end up there.
Exactly. But I'm sorry,
That's what I'm saying.
I have to correct you because words are powerful. We don't end up nowhere. We just continue to grow.
Well, yeah, we would continue to grow, but you understand what I'm saying.
No,
There's a
I hear what you're saying.
transitioning that should happen,
I hear what you're
right?
saying, but somebody else may come across this, and I want to make sure that words are powerful. Love them always tell us that the words we say out of our mouth are very, very powerful. We don't end
Yeah.
with we don't end with the nuclear family. We continue to grow from the nuclear family, but we start with community, and we just that garden just keeps getting bigger, and it just keeps getting better, and then it keeps getting stronger, and then at some point, no matter what they do, right? Taking school classes and school programs out of the schools, it wouldn't matter because we're still doing it at home. We're still doing it in our communities. We're still teaching in our communities.
yes, ma'am, we
Yeah.
continue to
Yeah.
blossom.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that we agree, like you said. I think we were maybe just,
Yeah,
there's some
I don't think she
miscommunication
agreed
going
with
on
you.
there. Dude,
Well,
Hmm.
I mean,
this dude, that's,
I I agree with the
I think
result.
we
I
agree on a
never
lot more than what we thought we disagreed on. That's what I'm saying. We're
Okay.
more in alignment than what we thought.
Okay.
and
So you
most
know
and
everything.
most and
What?
most people are in alignment. The issue I always have with when I hear, and I'm not saying you two gentlemen or the other gentleman that was here, when I see panels, when I go online, when I go into some of these spaces and I hear the men talking, and I try to listen, I try to give y'all at least 10, 15 minutes of listening. Y'all always start with
We
nuclear
all.
family. And it's like, hold up now,
Oh,
cause you gonna leave somebody nephew out who gonna take your son out.
exactly.
So we need to make sure we get everybody.
He
Ain't
doesn't
nobody getting
understand what the
this.
Library of Congress. Listen, and this is why I get
What?
mad at him
Cause
because I agree with him. I agree with him first. He doesn't understand the domestic trends of 2025, and then that, or was it 2015? Damn, I'm still 10. Y'all still 10 years behind. I know what they're doing right now. Um, because It's the domestic trends. I want you to look up something. I'm gonna task you with something. Caleb, are you ready?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, then you're not ready for. You know what? So it's a moot point. MOOT.
What is your beef
So
with Caleb? Like, what is going
nothing.
on?
No. Hey,
Jesus
Love Jones.
Christ.
You keep
He's just
coming for
playing
Nothing.
this
with Caleb at
man.
this
He ain't
point.
did shit to you. He
But
just
he's
playing
not
with
saying
Caleb.
anything right. But he says things that's right. And then I had to tell the Latoya lady down there in the comments, listen, girl, you have to be in alignment. When you're not, it makes me a little concerned.
I'm so confused.
I know, me too, baby. You know what?
But that's
Somebody said he
also,
wants Caleb. Oh my God. I
but
don't
see,
know what.
that's why.
That's not what it means.
But that's why I was saying words are powerful, because that's why I said I want to make sure me and Caleb understand where I'm coming from, where he coming from, because I see where he coming from, but I need him to see where I'm coming from. I wasn't coming at him or the men on the panel earlier directly. I'm saying when I get in these spaces, I hear those same answers, and then we end up nowhere. I want to make sure that
Yeah.
I am giving y'all the opportunity to speak and be heard, but I also want to guide y'all to be productive, because it's been 60 years. I'm almost 30. Most of my life, y'all have not been being productive. We need to keep the ball rolling. We're doing good right now the last couple of years. We need to keep that ball growing. So that's the only reason why I even hopped on here. I'm like, y'all, it's the same answers. It's like a robot. It has to click somewhere. If it don't click here, it ain't gonna click nowhere else. So when you go on other panels, can you do me a favor, Caleb? Or when you're around your boys, when you're around playing basketball in the gym, or however at work, can you please preach to other fellow Black American men? Hey, maybe we should probably volunteer a couple hours. Volunteer also helps your tax credit.
Yeah,
I know.
it's a write-off.
It's a write-off.
No,
Do
I
something. You know what I'm
I
saying?
totally
Push
agree with
it.
that.
Talk about
But
it.
do
Encourage
it
I
for
get
it.
what
your
you're saying.
heart.
All right, I'm getting out
That
of
too.
here.
That too.
Y'all give
Um,
y'all final thoughts, and then I'll be back later. Well, technically
You know
later
what, Love
today,
Jones?
but tomorrow. Go ahead, Caleb. You can give your final thoughts.
Okay.
I'm sorry. So
No,
yeah,
don't be sorry.
first
Be
off,
careful.
Leave it. You know what? Because it gets to a motherfucking point. Go ahead. Okay, Lacey, I'm gonna check it out after I get out of here. Go ahead, Caleb.
yeah, first off, Love Jones, thanks for allowing me to come up on your panel. I appreciate it. So thank you. Yeah, my final thoughts is, look, we're a wonderful people. We're a great people. I think that we can not only achieve the same greatness that we had prior, but we can supersede, we can surpass it. What our predecessors, what our ancestors did, and so I agree with a lot of the points that you, Love Jones, and XO made, and I hope that, like I said, thanks for letting me come up and just say my piece. I'll do what I can on my end.
The funny part is, like, you didn't even mean to come up here. Then you came up here. You got harassed by that guy. I'm so sorry.
Sorry.
But I don't know what the hell is his problem. Maybe he was drinking a little bit of something. I don't know. But go ahead, Cloud.
all right, yeah, I have no idea. Listen, I try to keep everybody in line. I try to make sure everybody feel respected, because I don't,
Yo,
because Love Jones know how I can get down. We want to get disrespectful, we can get disrespectful.
me too.
I'm from up north. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't nothing to just foo. It ain't nothing for me. I am masculine and feminine. I hold both. But I appreciate you having me on this panel and allowing me to speak to the
Of
lovely
course.
people watching, of course. And I'm sorry I came in late to the question. I hope that, if anything, we do not promote the negative that is being pushed as our influence, and we only push the positive, and make sure we continue to keep our credit for when we're doing good, so that people don't think that we just out here doing whatever, because that's not the case. I hope that we as all community learn something tonight. And, like I said, it is a tax credit, low key. If you need a little help with that, volunteer your time, be a part of the community. If you don't have one in your community, reach out to someone who know how to create one. Each one teach one. We all have one love. Love Jones always says, spread love is the Brooklyn way. We need to spread love. It's the Black American way.
That part. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. This was a short, short in comparison to other lives, but very eventful nonetheless, because Lord have mercy. God damn it. But I do think that we're in critical times, and absolutely I've been called a misandrous child. I've been called everything but a child of goddamn God. But moving forward, we do need to find some type of common ground and commonality, because there's YT nationalists. No, I'm speaking specifically to Black men now. Like YT nationalists from Canada that traveled to Texas and Fort Worth, Dallas. I posted a video about it, but ironically, the last time I looked, it only has 71 views. I have over 65,000 followers, so that's being suppressed. They're literally training for a race WAR, and I don't know who waged WAR on these people. I don't know what's going on, but we are literally being attacked on all fronts. So at some point we gotta commune, because it's really getting crazy out here. Y'all see what happened with Chud the Builder, literally just walking up to us, using racial slurs, using pejorative terms, harassing, stalking. Like, other races of people are crashing out, but just simply because we decided to sit down. See how the Latinos and Hispanics, they're rallying behind Ashley Gonzalez, because I think it's honestly because we didn't fight the ice cream truck for them. We didn't march out in the street against ICE. That's really what is given why they're so up in arms. So how people really feel is starting to rear its ugly head. And they're trying it. Everybody is coming at us. And then, of course, other immigrants that look like us, they're not much help. It's unfortunate. Some of them are cool as fuck individually, but as a collective, when they're in positions of power or authority, they're not much help. So we have to continue to make the distinction of who we are. And when we come back, I wanna delve more into the integration topic. So I believe that's what we will talk about next time. But literally, people are trying to like wage war on us. And I'm not supposed to say that up here, but I'm about to get off, so hopefully it don't be a problem. But like we're getting it from everywhere though. We're getting it from everywhere. So we gotta figure it out, because this is crazy. It really is. We have bigger fish to fry than to be arguing with each other. Child, Lord knows I done did enough of it. And you guys have absolutely a point about who, what, when, where, and why, because a lot of people in the manosphere are not Black American. And we didn't even really look at it or, realize it before. Like, I remember a guy that was making a bunch of videos about me. He was Haitian. And we didn't even, no one even thought about that. But now we're having these conversations, and like I said, we have much bigger fish to fry. But we still gotta hold y'all's asses accountable, because we ain't got no choice but to be accountable for shit that we don't even got no control over. Anyways, I'm gonna get out of here. Life is a movie, you're starring in it. The world is a stage. They got some situations going on too. I'm gonna tell you later. It's some mess up. Oh my goodness. Well, yeah, send me a message, boo. My allergies are not crazy. Spread love is the Brooklyn way. Good night. Follow me if you're not already following me.